Tolu Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. It's our time. Can you feel the elevation? We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for that confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination. Together all the time together. It's us against the world, it don't get no better. We turned it around, that was the beginning. Coming for the crown, you know we winning. Time to put in the work, I'm about to go berserk. Taking our prisoners, it's my time. Yeah, I know that it hurts. Tearing back out the church, you don't wanna see me in my prime. The mission is to ring, we're caught in everything. In the city, supporting the dream. Mission who I never seen, we deserve to be king. It's all or nothing, no in between. The clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Now the clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Live to the elevation. We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for that confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination.
You're on mute.
Probably a good thing I was on mute.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, what up, though, man? What up, though, to everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Deuce Show with the boss. Hope you guys are still having a solid weekend after that game. Boss, let me start with you. How you feeling?
That was that game ticked me off, to be honest. It was a tale of two halves. The second half was just god awful. There's no excuses. We just once again being caught playing down to our competition. And that's 3 losses in a row. The slump continues. Frustrating. We should have had this one. So I'm bummed.
You know, I was really expecting to come in here and have an entirely different conversation for tonight's show.
Yeah.
I had a lot of notes. I had to delete a lot of them because a lot of them that I had early don't even matter at this point.
Exactly.
So chat, we see you guys in the chat, man. We appreciate you guys still showing up, still showing out, showing support after this tough loss the Pistons had, which we'll get into. But we see you guys in the comments. Make sure if we miss you, to repost your comment, caps lock, repost, whatever you want to do, super chat to get our attention. And we will get to you as much as we possibly can. And we got a couple that are already coming in, boss. So let's get to those first. Doug says, time for an expectation check. Good, not great yet. I would agree with that. You can't have, regardless of how good you are at your best or how bad you are at your worst, it's about consistency. And one thing that they haven't really shown the last couple of weeks is consistency. So I agree with you there, Doug. Appreciate you as always, man. Dom, what up, bro? What up, though, man? Dom coming in hot. As soon as I said what up, though, I saw his super chat pop up. Dom says, that second half, bad shot selection, no sense of urgency like Brooklyn was going to just lay down, no ball movement, multiple possessions of guys just standing around on offense. 3 L's in a row. Time for some self-reflection. And boss, that's what we said. We said after that tough, road, what was it? The road, what was it? 4 or 5 games? What was it? 4 or 5? But they had a tough streak of games there. Tough, so it was tough. We know the Spurs, the Cavs, there's some tough matchups. So they weren't able to win the last couple of games. We just wanted them when they came back home to do what? Just lock back in. We said to ourselves, they lose this game, they just lay an egg here, and we got some stuff to talk about. And here we are with something to talk about. So that was not good at all. Dom, I totally agree with you. We're going to get into the details of your super chat a little bit later, but I appreciate you as always, bro. And I agree with every point you made there. Self-reflection, I think, is a good way to put it. So for those who missed it, I don't blame you. The Pistons, they returned home against the Brooklyn Nets. And yes, they lose. They lost 107-105. And the 10-game losing streak the Nets had was snapped. And the Pistons, as you mentioned, boss, their losing streak now extends to a season high 3. First time all year they've lost 3 games in a row. And then now dropped to 45-17 on the regular season. And like I said, I thought I was going to be able to throw the shades on. I thought I'd be able to sing the song. I thought, good mood, all that stuff. But nope, not the case, man. So the Pistons hopefully learn some things from this. Some things we're going to talk about that we've already talked about all season long. But we'll get to that. As far as the injury report, Cade was out, left quad contusion. Probably good for him to get some rest. He's day-to-day. Sasser was also out. Coach actually had some things to say about that regarding his status. So before we go any further, let's check that out.
AT, I think, is going to be a minute just from where, the ankle sprain was and what happened, how he was moving afterwards. Deuce, I think, will be more day-to-day. So we'll just keep an eye on him, see how he responds and how he recovers. But hopefully it's not a long-term thing.
So it sounds like Sasser may be lost for, I would imagine, a week or two, maybe a little bit longer, depending on the severity. I'm not sure if it's a high ankle sprain or what, but from what he said, no timetable. He's probably going to be out for a little minute. So the Pistons are going to have to get some things done without him. And we'll keep you guys posted once we get some updates on that. And then lastly, Ron Holland, who got smacked in the face by Wemby, he actually shook it off and returned to action tonight as well.
That was great.
The Pistons, with those guys out, went with the starting 5 of Daniss Jenkins, Marcus Sasser, which was surprising. Duncan Robinson at the 3, which was also surprising. Tobias at the 4 and JD at the 5. And it was nice to see Sasser get some bump in this game, get an opportunity. I don't think any of us had that starting 5 as their prediction last game, but it was, nice to see him get an opportunity. As far, guys, as the poll, I had to change the poll a few minutes before we hopped on because I thought it was going to be a belt poll, but unfortunately not. Tonight, guys, it's a reason for loss poll. So we're going to post that now, and you guys can have at that as far as to why you guys thought the Pistons dropped this game, boss. So with that, I'm going to let you tee off on your initial thoughts. You kind of hit on some things, but I'm going to let you kind of do your thing, and I will tee off after you say your piece.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I just want to get to, there was a super chat up here.
That one came through? Okay.
Real quick. Yeah. All Ball Knicks pod is dragging us right now. It's like fans all over the world calling Detroit frauds. Okay. I don't care. The Knicks
versus everybody.
I know some of you are in here. I see you. Your guys' favorite thing to say to us when we swept you this season, like, but the postseason is what matters. So take that energy in here. What matters if that's what you want.
Regular season doesn't matter. That's what y'all told us. 84-point differential between the 3 games between the Pistons and Knicks this year. Y'all told us it don't matter. Y'all said all that matters is the playoffs, so we don't want to hear it now as far as regular season games, especially against teams that are not you. If y'all beat us in the regular season, then it's a little different. Y'all never even beat us, so I ain't trying to hear that. But go ahead, boss.
About it if they have nothing positive to say about their own team right now, but yeah. So it was a okay first half. I did like, we got scoring, a bunch of guys. I think it took like the third quarter or close to the end of the second for someone to finally get in double digits for us. We really spread it out. Threes were hitting. We got a lot of transition baskets. Our defense was good. Except I do think in the second that we did leave, the Nets got too many easy baskets. We left a lot of open on the perimeter. And I saw that happen a little bit in the second half as well. The second half was just completely different. We went on 2 scoring droughts, the third and the fourth, of like about 5 minutes of just no field goals. And we can't be letting that happen. And this team is a deep team, and we talk about all the time. We talk about how good our bench is. So there's kind of no excuses for different lineups. This would be a different story if like Cade and the were available and we lost. It'd be even, different. But this was probably the worst loss of the season. Every team has one where they get a comeback. The other team comes back to win it. Every team has a game like that.
Do you feel like this was worse or the Wizards game was worse? This one?
This one, absolutely. The Wizards were kind of back up, like we were up by a lot, and I just feel like we just really let it. We didn't go on as many biggest scoring droughts with the Wizards. So I would say that this one is the worst, and it comes at a really inopportune time. Like this is our first 3-game losing streak.
Of the season.
That's crazy. First of all, I mean, like that's crazy in itself, but it was just not good. And this was supposed to be a game that we could, finish out, close out. I mean, there were things, even when we were up by double digits, there were things I didn't like that I saw that we definitely would have gotten to. But now, some of those things that I didn't like just continued throughout the game, like a lackadaisical defense, like, not some careless turnovers, like little things like that. So, yeah, the Nets, props to them. They're young guys, especially. I know some people were like MPJ had 30, but he was really bad. he got a little bit.
Save that, because I want to get to him later. I want to get to him later as far as what you thought and what everybody else thought. But yes, hold that thought. Yeah,
Sharp. They all good, and they took advantage. They were on a 10-game losing streak, so they got it back. But this was not it. It just sucks. Tomorrow we have the Heat and kind of an earlier game. 6 p.m. Eastern, so they're traveling tonight, and we'll see how they fare about that. This was supposed to help get us out of our slump, and all it's done is extend our slump. I've been saying for a few games now, we just need to get out of this slump, and it just keeps going. So I don't think it's. I mean, it's definitely not like it's concerning, but it's a slump that we haven't been in this season. It's just coming up at a bad time, but it's here. So
yeah. All I wanted to see, guys, was just the Pistons just tune this as a tune-up fight, if you will. Just to lock back in,
right?
Get back to who you are, defensively first, right? Just set the tone, do it for 48, build some momentum as you try to get healthy for the stretch run. Just reinforce your good habits, play hard, play instinctive on both sides, and be consistent. And you said it, Taylor 2 halves. They did it for one half. They were able to really string some stops together with their defense, get out in transition to score, go up double digits early. It was clear they were the better team despite not having Cade, despite not having Sasser. It was obvious. But that's why I say 48. That's why I always say 48, because in the second half, the Pistons were just priming their food and playing with their food and just playing around. And they let the Nets back into the game. A 23-point lead the Pistons had, boss, was evaporated by the time the second half of the fourth quarter came around, and they were down 4. A 23-point lead to a 4-point deficit, and that's what led to the loss. That's what happens when you play down to your competition. They need to start approaching every game. We've been saying this all year. Approach every game the same way, every quarter the same way, regardless of who you have available and regardless of who's playing on the other side. They need to start doing it. If they don't start doing that soon, they're not going to go far in the playoffs. If they have this approach. This is why this period right now is so important to just get back to who you are. So yeah, Krug, we deserve to lose this game for sure. I think you're right though, boss, because that game against the Wizards, and I think Kevin mentioned it early, they played well in that game.
Yeah, exactly.
They just couldn't miss. Like we still should have won the game, but they just couldn't miss anything. Kevin said 2-3 weeks ago, I said this stretch of games could very easily turn into this team's first stretch of adversity. Well, here we are losing to the Nets. And that's the thing, bro. Like we thought the period of tough games was going to be the adversity.
And
not not the first game after the tough stretch.
And that's like the games that we were losing were against good teams. So this is the real adversity. This should be the wake-up call.
Exactly.
And it was, it's hard because we definitely want to go as far as we can this year. No one was expecting us to be where we're at. So it's like, take the good with the bad. But if we, want to win a playoff series, we need to be able to figure out how to overcome some of these late game slumps and scoring slumps. And, but yeah, it was definitely more of like playing down to the competition, like you said, and just kind of, there was like a brief period in the second where I was like, we really look like ourselves out there again with there's a lot of transitions, a lot of stops. And I think Michael said it earlier too. I didn't even love the way they were playing then, but we were still up by a lot. Yeah. And so then we just got worse, and the Nets were able to just find it in them to get some shots in the end. So
yeah, even despite it, even late, the game was still very gettable. Like it wasn't like they erased the lead in like a 4 or 5 minute span of bad play. Like from the beginning of the second half, they didn't look the same. And it was just ever so gradual. They allowed them to just chip away. And it wasn't like they got hot late. Like it wasn't like the Wizards game. That's why I say I agree with you, because they still missed a ton of shots. They still didn't get a ton of calls.
Yeah.
Late in this game. And the Pistons just refused to put the game away. They refused to it's almost like they were conserving their energy for tomorrow night's game against the Heat. Maybe this was a trap game. Who knows?
Yeah.
But you saw at times them locked in defensively, rotating, getting out to guys, closing hard. When they closed too hard, you saw the defensive help come on the rotation come. Second half, they were just jogging sometimes. They weren't really moving. They weren't even really moving with intention in the second half defensively. Offensively, I don't even care about as much. It's just the defense. They just weren't playing great defense at all in the second half. The offensive shot selection could have been better, sure. But we've won so many games on the back of our defense despite what the offense is doing. So for them to be this complacent this late in the season against teams that shouldn't have any business even being in the game, that's the frustrating part. When you see the Pistons just dominating this game in stretches, that's what makes these kind of losses hard, because it came down to effort.
Yep.
It becomes ever so clear this game was about effort and the lack thereof.
Yeah.
So that's why this may be probably the worst loss of the season, because it was clear. There's no reason. They had no business even being in this game, let alone winning it. Disappointing, man. Disappointing.
Yeah. And then that's just like, once the Nets had a taste of like, oh, we could actually win this, that gave them energy, because again, they're coming off of a 10-game losing streak, and it's a lot of young guys who just want to go out there. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So
I just want to talk. This guy DJ keeps bringing here, I thought you were going to the finals. I thought you were going to finals. We never said that. So you're not watching us. If you're watching another one, that's cool. You can go talk to them about it. We said that our goal from the beginning, I've been saying I'm excited for our team to win a playoff series, as I absolutely think that they could. But also, speaking of, hopefully your Knicks can get to the finals for the first time in.
They haven't won about 50 years since the 70s. So that's a whole different story. But yeah, our goal, boss, is, we've seen on ESPN, it seems like every week there's a new Eastern Conference team that's going to be the finals representative. It seems like between the Celtics with JT coming back, and the Pistons earlier before that, and the Cavs once James Harden got there, and the Knicks early, and it's just been a revolving door for who's going to be that team coming out of the East.
Yeah.
So we just said we want to see this team take steps.
Yeah.
Right? No team goes from not winning a home game to winning the finals. It doesn't work like that in the playoffs. You got to take your steps. So for me, if we get past the first round and are at least competitive in the second round and play to our identity and we lose, it'll be disappointing, but I can accept that. But that's not going to happen if they keep playing like this.
Yeah, exactly. That isn't to take away from tonight's loss. It's just to address that a lot of us definitely do see that this is an evaluation year. I mean, if the Knicks don't win this year, they've got a lot to consider. They have to. Their team is getting older. The Celtics team is getting older. Like, we are a very young team, and we are all on the same page of what needs to be added to this team for us to succeed going forward. So hopefully, we don't want games like this, regardless of what our goals are, regardless of what it is. If we're the better team, which we are the better team than the Nets, then we have to prove that to them for the whole 48 minutes.
Yeah. DJ Crail says, respect to y'all, because the Pistons fans on Reddit I don't really mess with Reddit like that. I know Boss kind of observes at times on Reddit. I try to stay away from Reddit. We try to be as objective as possible when we talk about our team.
I like the discourse. Yeah, because the Reddit does give you, different perspectives. So that's why I do like that. But of course, on both sides, I mean, you'll see, every team has their crazies. Every team has theirs.
Yeah. Don't judge us off of one person or one platform, nothing like that. We're going to give you that real, bro. So we appreciate you guys showing up. Another super chat, boss. Let's get to this now before we get into some box scores. Chris got the munchies. Says, love the show. It's time to have a conversation about Paul Reed getting more minutes and Jenkins. Do you mean Dan Jenkins and LeVert, or do you mean you want to see him get Dan Jenkins and LeVert? So let me just hit on the first part of it. Paul Reed had no business not playing in this game.
Yeah,
in my opinion. I don't know what, I don't know. Like, we made the case before about the two big lineups against teams like Cleveland and teams like the Spurs, where you want to see them. But in games when you got guys missing, like big pieces of your team missing, I think you need to play as many guys who play hard as possible playing. You know what I mean? Like, so we talked about how I think it was last game, Paul Reed, we felt outplayed JD at times, right? Because just he was available, and we saw the impact he had in the game. Even though we lost, we still saw the impact. So in a game when you're down guys, I want as many guys who bring the energy and effort, who will keep us from having, at least try to help us from preventing having these kind of lulls. I want to have those guys playing as much as possible. So for him to get a DNP in this kind of game, once again, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. So Chris got the munchies. I agree with you about Paul Reed getting more time for sure.
And I agree with that too. I think maybe there was like, because for me, you can argue that we have a back-to-back and maybe he is saving some guys because if Cade needed more time, ideally you would hope that if we won today and then he could have tomorrow off. I don't know what if that will be reevaluated, but since the second, like, it's not like we went down early. Like Paul Reed could have played 10 to 12 minutes and been really helpful out there and not had to expend a bunch of energy. So yeah, that didn't make much sense to me. I think I would have liked to see Chaz as well. And then also he's saying Jenkins and LeVert, probably just their little slumps that they're in as well today. I don't think that this goes on any one person. There were a couple of players that did well, and I think that LeVert was one of them. When the whole team is in a slump, everybody is. We haven't consistently seen one guy above the other. I mean, JD just did finish with 17 and 14, a double-double, but it didn't look pretty. Like, I can't tell you to sit here and tell you that MPJ had a bad game, even though he hit 30, because he did. But then I can't tell you that JD's numbers were okay. So it must have been he had a good game. No, he had his fair share of struggles too. So
yeah, no, I agree. So let's go ahead and get to we got another super chat that came in, and then we'll get to some of your MPJ thoughts, and then we'll go to some box scores. So let's start with this first. Sella coming in hot says, I hate saying this, but I've watched it happen a lot. The Pistons get in rhythm, Caris checks in, then it's heavy dribbling and turnovers. The team ends up scrambling just to get the momentum back. Very disappointing. I'm gonna let you tee off on this first, boss. What were your thoughts? I know you thought Caris played pretty well. How do you think that kind of resonates with what Sella's saying here?
Well, Caris only had one turnover today, and he did great on defense. He also only had one assist, but I think he was connecting pretty well with people too. He started off, he had a good first half, and then we didn't see him a lot in the second.
We didn't see him a lot, right? Yeah.
We only had him for 16 minutes. So Caris, I know people love to blame him for momentum, but we can't say that he comes in and kills momentum when we've been talking about how we have slow starts and he's not in the starting lineup. So
that's true. I don't think he was bad. But I agree with you. Go ahead.
But it's just the easiest way. He dribbles the air. Yeah, he's a dribbler, guys. But
he does do that.
Right? Yeah. But yeah, because then people will say that we need MPJ, who did get 30 points again, but that man dribbles. Did you guys hear George Blaha's discourse about it?
Yeah, go ahead. Take off on MPJ.
Sorry, unless you wanted to get something too.
No. I just wanted to so real quick, like Sella, this is I won't say one of the few games. I don't want to be throwing shots, but this is one of the few times I didn't feel like Caris really was part of the reason why we lost. I mean, I don't think he was a huge positive. Don't get it twisted, but I also I feel like this was a team loss. Like everybody had played their role, especially in the second half. It's just from an effort standpoint, not even a box score standpoint, just an effort standpoint. Everybody contributed. I thought Caris was decent. I thought his effort was there defensively. He stayed in front. He rotated pretty well. He had 7 points. It wasn't like he played bad. He didn't take a bunch of bad shots. He only shot 8 times. He almost shot 50%. So I didn't feel like he was really the problem in this game. I feel like for most of the season, he hasn't been great, and I think that's a fair assessment. But in this game, it didn't stand out as glaring compared to how he's played for most of this year. So I don't know. I wouldn't really say he played bad in this game. It's easy to kind of default to him, I think, sometimes because
that's what it feels like. Because
usually he is part of the reason. Not usually, but a lot of time he's part of the reason. But I wasn't really feeling that tonight. I wasn't feeling that tonight. So I'm gonna agree or disagree with you there on Sella on that one. But I'm not saying you're wrong. I just didn't personally see that. But this game overall was very disappointing, like you say, Sella. I do agree with that for sure. Anything else on that, boss?
Just also that Sella too, just as this is valid. I think a lot of people can relate to you when Caris comes on the floor. They get a little bit, they're not thrilled about it.
I've been there.
Right. But tonight, I'm just not going to go into him because I definitely don't, especially with only 16 minutes. That was the second least in the game. He didn't do anything. So
we'll circle back to him. Anything else?
That's all on that. Just with MPJ. Because he did end up shooting 40%. Like he did get there, but all of his shots, you guys, he is where the ball goes to die. He takes ill-advised shots. A lot of them were way off. His passes, he had let me see how many assists he ended with. He ended with 1 assist. Because his passes were terrible. His passes led to turnovers. Let me see how many turnovers he had.
2 turnovers.
He only had 2, but his passes are not good. Like he doesn't give the ball up. Like, and that's why he can score 30 points on a team like the Nets, and go 3 for 12 and throw those up. Like, that's a lot of
Yeah.
it's a lot of shot
he
attempts.
thought he scored 30, but it took 25 shots to go get it.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
also, he doesn't move the ball. He is a good rebounder. I'll always give him that. He's always been good at rebounding, which he did tonight. But I was just, he started off hot and then he went very, very cold and then helped them finish it out once they got the taste of it again.
Yep.
But I just, the MPJ that I know is there, and he very well could have shot them out of the game tonight too. They were just lucky to have some rim putbacks. As Ziaire Williams really popped off for them too. But MPJ's style of play is like, his offense is just so atrocious, and I just can't believe that there's people out there that are still like, we would have had to sell a lot for him to get him.
There's no way it's worth it, bro.
And we can definitely do better in the offseason. But he was the lane scorer on his team, but tell me who else on the team you would expect to get 30 other than MPJ,
Yeah, he took twice as many shots as anybody else.
Crazy.
So he better score 30.
Yeah.
But my thoughts, like all jokes aside, my thoughts on MPJ is what George Blaha said. He said, in quote, "I'll never take a guy, I've never seen a guy take so many shots that had no chance of going in."
Yeah.
Like, bro, George low-key roasts people like in the most subtle way that people, because he says it so genuinely. I've never seen, like, but it's when you really listen to it, it's like he over there taking shots. He been doing this for a little minute. He knows how to get away with doing it. Just throwing little road shots would have not been obvious. And then Greg followed that up by saying he's getting the shots, but he ain't getting the wins. And unfortunately, he did get a win. But the point was just that, he's a high volume shooter and he can get hot sometimes, but his shot quality is terrible. It's terrible. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't want him here, boss. We just spent.
He refuses to give up the ball, even if it's a bad shot. He won't.
This team wins by committee.
Yeah.
Right. We move the ball movement, player movement. That's what's encouraged. It's a black hole. When he gets the ball, do not expect to get it back. It's literally black. No shot is a bad shot in his mind.
You're not listening to us. You're not listening to us.
But that's the thing. I'm not even gonna pay that any attention. Because at this point it's trolling. But that's why, like, because early in this game, the Pistons are moving the ball, sharing it, all these different things. But that to me is different between a guy like MPJ and a guy like Trey Murphy. Because Trey Murphy is a very willing passer, right? And he's just as skilled, if not more offensively skilled than an MPJ. But he moves the basketball. He's not a selfish player. He doesn't take bad shots. That's why he's always shooting better than 45, 50% every game. But with MPJ, ain't the case. He's just going to continue to chuck it. That just wouldn't work here.
You guys, I do agree that we would love to have a shooter that can put up 30 for us, put up as many points as he does for the Nets, to do that for us. But it's not MPJ. Aim higher. He's working in the system because of that system, not because of ours. He's not a team player.
If Jokic wants to move off of you, bro, you ain't got to tell me nothing else.
Yeah. But I just had to address that, because there's so much discourse. No one listens to me about why we shouldn't bring him in. And if you watch that game, if you genuinely watched that game and thought that he did well,
I don't know what to tell you. It looks, it was a recipe. Like, that's the thing I was bothered by, is that they had Duncan Robinson guarding him too. Like, that just makes it easier. Like, if Asari's playing in this game, he's not doing that, bro.
That was bad.
It's not happening. If Cade is playing in this game, it's not happening. Like, so it made it was just worse. It added insult to injury because Duncan got foul trouble early. Yeah. He's not a really good defender. So it's just like, it just kind of was a perfect storm for him to be able to score a ton of points. He gets a bunch of shots and he was being guarded by, we were missing our best defender. We've seen Asar shut down and make it tough for guys like Trey Murphy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was just like, oh, really? He's not going to play in this game and not MPJ. I'm not falling for that trap. Not falling for it, man. So I'm going to leave it there, boss.
He did have a good start. He was the first one on the Nets to hit double digits. So he had a good start and then just fell off. And it was the other guys that really helped get the job done. But just had to, address that one.
All right. Let's go to some box scores, boss. Make sure there are no more super chats that I missed. Oh, there's one more from Dom. Dom's coming back around. Yeah. Says, I know there's ups and downs, but since the break, something seems off. I really hope guys aren't, and you said that, I really hope guys aren't getting complacent because we're in first. Haven't really played a good game in almost a month outside of New York. I would have to agree with that. Yeah. We've won games, but we haven't really played our style. And we've won despite not really playing well because we have our depth, because we got an MVP candidate, things like that. But we haven't really had a convincing win, like box score and off, just as far as the eye test. And say, yeah, that was Pistons back. That was a convincing win in Pistons fashion. Like, it's been a while since we've said that. So I think that's a great point you made. And boss, you've said that. Like, something seems off with the chemistry or something. Like, whatever is happening, it may not be off the court, but if it is, it's bleeding onto the court because they don't have the same synergy that they've had on both sides of the ball as far as just being locked in and being a unit. We've seen a little bit of disconnect at times. So I think that's a great point, Dom, you made. It's the same one you've made, boss, since they've had this stretch.
Yeah, I do think it's a slump, of course. So it's just a bummer that the slump is happening now, but the bounce back will happen. There's more New York fans in the chat. Come talk to me when you're first. Come talk to me when you've got.
Don't even address them, bro. It's not even important. You know why they're here. Don't give them the attention.
It's so funny. Like it to me, it's just so silly.
Y'all not getting my attention, bro.
You've got a couple.
Y'all could try, but
you've got a couple people to pass to get to where we're at. So focus on your team. But yeah, I do agree. I do agree with Dom too. Like something does seem off. And to me right now, I do think it's just, like I've said, I'm still sticking by that. I do think it's a slump because even though it's like the worst part of the slump, when I thought that the worst part of the slump was over because we're actually losing, now like 3 in a row is tough. That's the true definition of a slump. So hopefully, we'll see. They definitely need to get it together. They have to. Agree with you guys there.
One more super chat just came through, boss, and then we'll get to some box scores. Alan, what's going on, Alan? Alan comes through, guys, and says, do you see the Pistons returning to their midseason form over the final 20 games? Or is it possible that we have already reached our ceiling?
I feel like I just
go ahead. Take off.
I think for me, I feel like I just answered that I do think this is just a slump. I don't think that we're going to finish the season like terrible, but the way that we were rolling and where we're at, I mean, we're only at what? This is loss number 17?
17.
Okay. Like that's it sucks that it's 3 in a row, but it's like 17 losses is still the best number in the East. So I'll take that. But I do think that we do bounce back. I can't tell you if it's going to be tomorrow, but the slump won't last forever. That's for sure. I do think that we get back to our form. Someone mentioned it too. I think some teams are learning how to play us a little bit. And so now and we have to adjust to that as well. And I think that we'll definitely get back to that form.
Yeah, I'm not going to doom and gloom and say that they're not, but they got to give me some confidence that they're going to. And I think tonight would have done that, but it didn't strengthen my confidence in that. So I'm not going to give them a pass and say, oh, they'll get it together. I'm not saying you give them a pass, but I'm just saying they got to show me something. They got to show me something, man. Like y'all know I'm usually positive. I try to be balanced and I try to be positive, try to find silver linings and stuff like that, but I'm always honest. But I'm not really feeling positive right now, bro. Like I'm like, come on, like you played great all year. Yes, you have, but you once again, it's just it's the mental part of it. It's not like they just couldn't knock down shots. It wasn't you go up that many points against anybody, you're supposed to win.
Yeah.
Anybody. No team in the league is 20 points better than you in a half.
Agreed.
No team. So I hope they do, Alan, but I'm not going to just go and say that they're going to. They got to show me now. They got to show me something. Like, aside from the last 2 losses, the stretch they had, which was pretty decent, losing to the Spurs twice, first team to sweep them, in the Western Conference all year, first team to, I think, So that part is fine. But it's like when you start getting towards the end of the season and you got winnable games against winnable teams, against teams that you're better than, and you go up and you show you're better than them, and then you don't win the game, you got to show me something, bro. You got to show me some consistency all over again. So that's where I'm at. I hope they do. I'm confident they can, but I'm not going to say I'm confident that they're just going to do it like that, especially if, as you're saying, something is off. They got to figure some stuff out. So I'm not dooming and glooming. I'm just keeping a stack. They got to be better, bro. Like this can't happen again the rest of the year. It can't.
Yeah. And I saw one score get brought up, but we beat the Nets by 53 this year. Like, we're definitely capable. It was just one of those games that every team has. And you're lying if you're saying your team hasn't. So, but it does, again, it comes at a very inopportune time, coming off of a loss two losses against good teams. This really could just help morale. Of course, we didn't have two of our stars. Like I said, it would have been even, I think, more concerning if Cade and Sasser were in as well. We did see some new rotations with Huerter playing more and things like that. But still, we should have been able to pull this one out. So yeah. But we'll see.
We'll see, Alan. We'll see, bro. Dom coming back. Yeah, Dom ain't playing tonight, boss. I think he's definitely ticked off tonight. Dom says, I have to stop myself at times from getting too emotional after a couple losses because I sat here as a fan and watched every single game of that 28-game losing streak. Being a fan is rough. And yeah, of course, bro, like perspective is everything, right? You were 100% right. Like I was kind of saying what he's saying after losing to the Spurs twice, after losing to the Cavs, losing to good teams. I'm not going to spaz if we lose to good teams, even if we don't play our best. Sometimes good teams can make you look like that, right? Yeah. They can make you have to adjust and you don't play your best. But when you lose games like this is when I put a little bit more stock into it, is when I do get a little bit more emotional because it's like, you're not supposed to lose this game. You're not. And this late in the season, once again, you can't afford to have these lulls, bro. Like you got to start building habits now. Win games you're supposed to win. Because if you lose one game in the playoffs you're supposed to lose, that can be the difference in the series between you going on and going home. So you got to be consistent. And that's where I'm at. And they're not. So before I say anything else about them going here or there, I got to see them finish this season strong. And then we'll talk. That's where I'm at.
I think finishing strong is a huge point. And again, it's just kind of crazy that two seasons ago we were on a 28-game losing streak, worst in the league. And, and so I'd rather, be where we're at now and learning and advancing and growing and getting better every season than being knocked out of the playoffs every season, like certain other teams. But it is just, they need to take a lot of it. But it's rough. But like you said, this is the adversity part. Like losing to good teams is just like a good team versus a good team. A team's going to lose. So that's just part of the game. Losing to bad teams is the adversity part. And this is when you hope that whatever it is, because we were hoping last game, after a 2-game losing streak that they would snap out of it. And then they lost today. Like a loss like this is tough because you were basically had it all the first half. And then even though you were slumping in the second half, you still had it and then you let it go. You gave it away.
Yeah. So that's what it comes down to. It's not doom and gloom time. It's not panic time, but it's prove it time. It's prove it time. Right? To say it. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. I'm just watching at this point.
Do you want to check
watching and observing with a close eye? Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Do your thing. Let's check the poll, guys, and see where we are at as far as to why you guys thought we lost this game tonight. Okay, so 43% of you guys think it came down, 44% think it came down to complacency. And then 27% apiece for scoring droughts and coaching, and 3% said free throw shooting. So the free throw shooting actually got better in the second half. They were shooting like 60% in the first half. I don't know what was going on. They were just leaving a ton of points on the board. Just guys who don't really miss free throws or missing free throws. Just not taking advantage of being at the free throw line. And I felt like the last couple of weeks, they've been pretty good. They've been in the high 70s, sometimes even in the low 80s as a team, right? So they've been doing a really good job of that. But tonight, once again, it just kind of blended into everything. Their effort kind of fell in it blended into everything. It wasn't just the shot selection. It wasn't just the defense. Even the free throw, it just weren't locked in. Even the free throw shooting was just wasn't really there. But yeah, most people agree, boss, that the complacency in this game is what caused the loss. And if you watch this game, it's not hard to see. It's not hard to see. That's what it was. And that's why we were so frustrated with this loss, because definitely a game you're not supposed to lose. So we'll leave it there, boss. Anything else before you get to some individual box scores?
Nope, that's all.
Let's get to it, guys. Let's check it out. Let's go to Daniss Jenkins. Let's start with him, who got the start for Cade in this game tonight, boss. Daniss Jenkins finished with 11 points on 4 for 9 shooting. Misses only 3 for 6 from the free throw line. That's what I'm talking about. Like 3 for 6 from Daniss that's not good enough. Like he's been reliable all year, right? Mm-hmm. So we need like the gimmies. We need those from him for sure. 1 rebound. He had 9 assists and only 3 turnovers. That's a good ratio. He had 2 steals as well in 35 minutes. So what were your thoughts tonight, boss, on Tink in this game?
Yeah, this was, he had some good there. 9 assists was big. The 3 turnovers, which isn't terrible, but this is when I really needed Jenkins to step up, and him missing those free throws just kind of showed where he's at. And again, this is a guy that helped us win against the Cavs in our first matchup against them this past month. And he has come in clutch, and we know this, and he's very reliable. Even George and Greg pointed out, like, it's just, he's in his own little bit of a slump too. But this is definitely where I was hoping that he would just absolutely, like, 11-9 is nothing to, like, there's nothing to scoff at, but I definitely needed more from him. And he's just a little bit still off. He's in this slump with us. So
yeah. I agree too. Yeah, I thought he was. I was expecting him to be a lot better than he was in the start. He wasn't bad. Like, he took care of the basketball pretty well. One of those turnovers was an inbound with like 1 second left, and he just had to get rid of it. So I really don't even count that one. It was more like 9 assists and 2 turnovers, but whatever. But yeah, like the last 5 minutes were bad. The last 5 minutes were bad. The decision making uncharacteristically wasn't there. The shot at the end, he didn't even graze rim. When they were down 2 with 10 seconds ago, that was, I don't know, that was surprising. Yeah, it's a bad shot. But for me, like, aside from the scoring, I just wanted to see him do something that we've been talking about. We need to see him do more, like, because we've been seeing him more late, looking for his own offense, which is what I want to see him look to get everybody else involved. Other than Cade, he's the only other point guard. So, like the game when he had 15 assists off the bench, I wanted to see more of that. Just looking to be a distributor, a table setter, orchestrator. I thought he did that great, especially in the first half. He was great, I thought. I thought he was really good in the first half. Playing really good defense, finding guys, finding Stu. He could have tried to get in a nice up and under tough finish. He found Stu for a nice dunk, backdoor passes. Like, he was just really doing his thing early in this game on both sides. But he, like everybody else in the second half, just didn't have that same intensity, man. And late in the game, when you got to rely on, trying to get a shot here and there, and they're all the way turned up at the end of the game. Their confidence is sky high. Everything's going to be tougher, right? But he had 6 in the first half, right? Yes. So he only had half of that in the second half, right? So it's not all him. You still got to knock down shots, but I just felt he still has not been to the level that I would have wanted him. I want to see him at. He's still not there yet. I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's because he's starting and not playing with the same guys, and you saw the offense not look like it normally does. But even still, despite that, for him, what I expect, what I've seen him do, I would have liked to see a little bit more from him tonight for sure.
Well, that's, like, you could tell that he was frustrated. People, have their theories about him getting signed and falling off. He just wanted his money. He doesn't care. Again, we talked about this. The contract is, first of all, a team option, which means that it kind of means nothing.
He's got to play well in order to get that second year option.
Exactly. Is what she said. Also, you saw him, like, when he would miss some of those easier baskets or baskets he would usually make, he was animated about it. He was frustrated with himself. He was frustrated on the last play. There was a couple of layups that he didn't get, or I think he got a foul call. And it could have been an and one, but it didn't fall, and he was on the ground. He was upset. Like, he's frustrated in this too. So, but again, I mean, I don't know what else to say, because I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, like, we made the wrong decision by signing him, because I completely disagree with that.
Yeah,
but
I don't agree with that.
Him to snap out of this slump a little bit, just like the rest of our team. And again, we'll remain optimistic, because what's the other choice? If you want to doom and gloom now, go for it. But, like, I'm going to remain optimistic. And again, I don't see us slumping like this for 20 more games. And the positive thing is that the slump happened again 20 games out. This isn't the playoffs. This isn't right before the playoffs. Like, this is regular season. So what we want to see now is, I'm just waiting to see the adjustments that were individual too, not just team, but like individual adjustments from learning from this adversity and this tough stretch of games. As long as I see guys improving, on their last game, I'm cool.
Yeah. Abraham, I'm a little bit with you here, bro. I'm not saying they have any, but, like, they played, like, it seemed like it was a certain arrogance that I saw tonight.
Humbling. It
felt like it was an arrogant performance. The way they turned it on and turned it off, and turned it on and turned it off, and let them hang close and it was like they were saying, let's just keep it above 10, and we do that, we'll be fine. You see them going a little 6-0 run to get it to 16 and get back down to 10, and But once it started getting, I always say, once it gets underneath 10, when it's been above double digits for most of the game, once it gets down to 10, something happens.
Yeah.
Something happens. Guys get tighter as the league kind of, disintegrates. The other team, they feel like they gotten over a mental hurdle. Once they get it down under double digits, like something happens. So it's like you saw they just kind of were playing as if they were like, let's just conserve our energy, and we know we're gonna beat them when it matters. But it don't always go that way. So if I do think Abraham may be owning something here, I think they play. It looked like with a certain arrogance tonight. Just the way they approached the game, they didn't play with the urgency. They didn't treat them with enough respect that they should have given them.
And I agree. Even when the Nets were cutting it close and going on these little runs, I was still just like, oh, but the Pistons will figure a way to finish it off because they have. And tonight they didn't. And maybe they thought that too. Maybe they thought, oh no, like we'll find a way to finish it out. But
yep, Crud. We play with our food and we didn't take them seriously. And Devin says this will help us in the long run. I hope so. I'm hoping so. So maybe some humble pie now. I mean, you would think after losses we've had earlier this season, that they would have learned, because we've won games despite having these second half lows. What do we always say? Third quarter, we want to see them do what? Come out and put the game away. Don't let them hang around. We said that all year. Don't let them hang around. Third quarter is oftentimes the most important quarter for this team, right? Yeah, and that'll tell you what's going to happen. If the lead is cut in half by the end of the fourth quarter from halftime, I'm not feeling good in any game, because it's just showing you they came out the gate slow. Not saying the other team didn't come out hot, but we're still the better team most nights. So we should still be able to weather whatever storm is coming to us. So when you see that happen, that's when I started getting worried. And I felt like everybody, not just Daniss, but everybody kind of contributed to that tonight. And now it's disappointing. So that's all I got on him.
Yeah, same.
All right, guys, we'll leave it there, man. Let's move on now, boss, to Marcus Sasser. Tonight, guys, Marcus Sasser finished with 8 points on 3 for 9 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3, 3 boards, 4 assists, 2 turnovers, and 5 steals, which is a team high, game high. By far, actually. Nobody else had more than 2 in this game in 29 minutes. So what did you see tonight, boss, from Sass?
I mean, his steals and his defense were definitely a plus for me, because he had 5 steals, but he also had a lot of disruptions. He had a couple of strips or pokeaways that other guys were able to pick up, and just made it difficult for the Nets to get stuff done on the defensive end. He hit his first field goal, which was a 3, which just excited me. And then his next one was a 3-2. He hit his first 2 and then just kind of cooled off, which was a bummer.
Yeah, first 3 shots he made.
Yeah, because I was hoping for a big Sass game. But his steals were a highlight, and just something, especially because I've described him as more of a pesky defender, and he was able to do that against the Nets tonight. I did like seeing him and Jenkins out there together as well. So he did solid. When he wasn't able to get his shots going after a little bit, he was making up for it in other ways. On the defensive end, especially, he only had 1 foul as well, so, and a couple of rebounds. He recorded an assist, a point, points and a rebound, and hit the first 2 minutes of the game. He was doing good there. So I liked seeing him. For him to be chosen for the start, I was only surprised because I thought they would more so focus on a 3 or 4, move Tobias to the 3 and bring in Ron or Wu at the 4. I kind of thought LeVert might start because he's been kind of the most consistent first person off the bench if it's not Stu or Ron. But no, it was Sass. So it was cool to see him in the game. And I definitely don't think that his game was contributed to the loss. I mean, again, the way everyone played did, but he played very solid for his first start in a while for us.
Yeah, he started off great, like Dom said, and then he went cold. He went cold. I think he had 8 points in the first quarter and finished with 8 points for the game, right? So I'll get to some thoughts on him. I was happy that he got the opportunity to start, but I wasn't happy that he started because, and here's why. It's pretty much what you said as far as making an adjustment at the 3, and I don't know why Duncan Robinson's played the 2 all year. So I don't know why in a game when you're playing the Nets, whose best player by far is MPJ, you put Duncan Robinson on him.
Yeah, that was weird. That was so weird.
That doesn't make any sense to me. That's why I'm like, let Javonte Green keep Daniss at the 1. Let Duncan stay where he's been all year at the 2. And either put Ron Holland or Javonte Green or even Caris LeVert
Some
at the
defense.
3. Somebody who can guard him.
Yeah.
Not somebody who's going to get in foul trouble in the first few minutes of the game and give him confidence from the start. That didn't make any sense. That didn't make any sense to me at all. I know JB's coach. I'm not trying to, question him or whatever, but that don't make no sense. Why you would put your worst defender on their best scorer to start the game? I mean, what do you think is going to happen? Of course he's going to get in foul trouble. Yeah. And you saw them hunting him out early in this game. That's why he had 3 fouls in the first quarter.
It was a bummer because he had to go out after he hit a 3. He drained a 3, and then he had to go out because of a foul trouble. So yeah. So I'm happy for Sass that he got the opportunity, right? I'm not taking that away. But that rotation made no sense to me. That was, to me, like that's the worst thing you can do. It's for 2 reasons. The first one being Duncan hasn't played the 3 all year. Yeah. The second being their best player is at the 3. So I'm like, why would you do that? So I don't know. But as far as Sass, like he started off great. He started off great in this game. The injury scare was scary when his leg got caught under Day'Ron Sharp, and it looked bad for a second. Day'Ron Sharp was a big dude, man. I want to know his.
So like that was. I was like, Greg was like, oh no, he just kept saying, oh no, and I felt him because like Sass has had to deal with. He's had a rough stretch the last couple years, man. With opportunity not being there, inconsistently, the injuries, him trying to work his way back into the rotation, trying to play point guard and shooting guard and point guard and all the discourse, including myself that I've been involved in with him as far as why I didn't think it would work well for him here right now. All of that. I wanted to see him go out there and be able to ball out. So I was like, man, please don't be hurt. And thankfully he wasn't. Thankfully he was limping a little bit. He'd probably feel it tomorrow, but it wasn't anything serious. Yeah. At least it doesn't appear to be. So that was good. Go ahead.
And I wonder too, that's a good point you brought that up because that's kind of when he went cold. I wonder if he was just feeling off. Maybe. That, and maybe we probably won't see him tomorrow if they do think that he needs to rest it. But I agree because that could have been a knee thing, but also just like props to him because Day'Ron Sharp is big, so he can get. I was like, by his bones were like the fact that he was able to get back up, and then when he didn't do the jump ball, I thought that meant that he still was feeling it and would go out.
I mean, he's like 6 foot.
No,
he's
I know,
like 6'9".
I just assume I'm trying to say that more, so I'm glad that he stayed out there because I was assuming that you have to jump because it's you, and then we'll call a timeout. That's what I meant. Not like when he didn't do the jump ball, and then I saw that they just continued to play. I was like, okay, okay. So that's just more.
I feel that. But you talked about though, like he didn't shoot well after the first quarter. But he still found ways to still be effective. I liked what I saw. He had a nice strip on. He had a few strips in this game, playing the passing lanes, playing big. I saw him a few times even boxing out 7-foot Nick Claxton on a switch, getting real low and boxing and moving him out of there. Right? We know Nick Claxton's a tall, skinny guy, but Sass is like 6'2". So for him to be willing to get down there on a switch on a mismatch like that and be able to clear him out, that's effort, man. So like my issue with Sass has never been like it's always been size. So tonight he showed that he can still try to get some things done despite being undersized. I don't like those two together starting because your biggest guard is 6'3". I don't like that at all. Along with the other reason of Duncan and MPJ that matchup, but it was kind of weird to me, boss. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of weird to me tonight.
It's like exactly because definitely with the 5 steals and what else he was able to do out there, he still where we wanted the defensive tone set. Like he still set the tone in his own way. But it did feel more like Jenkins is the obvious behind. They actually have Sasser listed as the point guard.
Yeah, it was kind of skewed to start the game. They had him they had Daniss at the 3. It was something weird.
Because you would assume Daniss for Cade, and then Sass is a good choice, but it'd be almost like Sass was a good choice if Duncan was out because then you're like Duncan's healthy, so why would he lose his starting position? So it just felt a little bit like JB. Or I don't know, but it's a little tunnel vision of like, well, Sass because he's been doing great, but then you forget who's around there when he's out there too. Because we just talked about even last show about how Duncan and Huerter looked good together, even though those aren't 2 guys you would pair up. I think they look better than Sass and Dunk were able to do tonight together. But it was a great opportunity, and I do hope that he's okay. And I do want to see more of him because I do think that the start that he had tonight is something that he can consistently do throughout a game. It just didn't happen tonight. But everybody really pretty much fell off in the second half except for Tobias, I would say. But yeah, that's just kind of that. So hopefully, I'm curious to see if Cade comes back tomorrow or if they rest him still, because I have a feeling they were hoping to get a win on this one, and then you could maybe afford to rest Cade. But the Heat are always a team that gives us problems, so Cade may have to come back, and then I think that would just eliminate. Well, I don't know.
I think it was a rest game for Cade. I mean, it said it was a left quad contusion. I think he was just taking a rest. I think he's been a little tired lately. I think he kind of earned a game off. Yeah, he's been playing this year, so I'm not mad at that at all. So, but I think that's what it was.
If Cade comes back tomorrow, does Sass start with him or does Jenkins?
Duncan's still there too.
I know, but there's no Sasser. We still have a missing.
I hope they would leave him there. And I see what you're saying, and that's kind of what Dom says. Okay, so that's interesting. So Dom says, wasn't Wu or LeVert that? So who wins the bet? But JB gave Sass an opportunity, but didn't like the position he put him in with that small back.
Because we bet again for each other. Because I bet LeVert and you bet Wu.
Right, exactly. And we were both wrong.
Yeah,
that was crazy. That's what I'm saying. Nobody saw this lineup coming. Like even in the chat, I don't think anybody in the chat had this one last game.
If Cade comes back, they might rest Sass anyways tomorrow, depending on how his leg is feeling.
Right.
So then I could see Jenkins still coming off the bench, and then maybe a Wu or Ron in the start. So.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure that lineup out tonight. It just was a recipe for disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So who are you gonna pick who you have tomorrow? Let's just say Cade is at the 2 or 1, Duncan at the 2. You still going Caris 3? I'm gonna go Wu.
No, I would say I might say Ron.
Okay.
Because since Sasser's out, I might say Ron. I'll go with Ron, but I also wouldn't be if Sass is still eligible. I wouldn't be surprised if they just keep him in, and put Jenkins back off of Cade.
Okay.
So.
We'll see. But last thing on Sass, I liked his unselfishness too. Like we know he can score the basketball. Chaz. I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know he can score the basketball. But he made some very good secondary swing passes. Where he was just passing up his own shot, which was a good shot for a better shot.
Yeah,
like he's a team player. Like he straps up defensively. We know he can score, but it just is his unselfishness as a gifted offensive player to be able to move the ball to a guy who maybe isn't as offensively gifted, or maybe who can't shoot as well, maybe around or whoever. Just his ability to just play systematic basketball and just make the right play is what I appreciate too about him. So I really don't have nothing bad to say about him in this game because I thought he played hard. His shot kind of betrayed him, but he's one of the few guys in this game I thought played hard the entire time he was on the court. So hopefully he's feeling better.
Go ahead.
I
have to see what his shots were after the injury, because that just is just something I just connected. But I just wanted to bring you the swing passes. Like one of them was he was right under the rim. It was an open. JD found it, was at the top of the paint, and he threw it down to Sass, who had a wide open shot. Well, he had one guy on him, taller guy, and he got it to Duncan in the corner. And then another one was Jenkins to Sass to a dunk 3. So he was moving the ball, even though we know that he can put it up really anywhere on the court too.
Yeah, I agree with that too. All right, guys, let's keep pushing, man. Let's go now, guys, to who we just do? We did Sass, right? We did Sass. Yeah. Okay, let's go to Duncan Robinson. It's throwing me off at the 3.
I know.
All right, guys, it's so weird. Duncan Robinson, guys, started tonight at the 3, and he finished with 15 points on 3 for 5 shooting. All those shots were 3 balls, 6 for 7 from the free throw line, 1 board, 4 assists, no turnovers, and 1 steal in 23 minutes. So what did you see from Dunk tonight, boss?
Oh, he almost had that game-winning shot today, too, which would have at least, put us all in a better mood. But that means that he was 3 of 4 before that. So it's 3-5 overall. He once he started getting going, they defended him pretty well, I would say too. But he did a great job of moving the ball. He also got into foul trouble early, like you said, which it didn't seem like it really cut his rhythm at all, because he was able to get 2 more threes, but it definitely would have been helpful to keep him on the court and get some more offense from him. He had 4 assists, which is tied for second most with Sass. I thought he did a good job moving the ball. Just the foul trouble was rough. He only had 1 foul. He had the 3 quick fouls, and he only had 1 foul after that. But yeah, the assignment for MPJ was kind of crazy, and just because I'm not going to sit here and tell you again, MPJ deserves respect as the best player on the Nets team. So that's where we needed our best defender on him, because he's the one he's their best player. So we would assume that our best defender was on him, but they put Dunk on him, which was questionable, definitely. So didn't love that. Especially when he's a guy that doesn't give it up, so you have to play one-on-one the entire time against him, because he will shoot it. That's what he does. He shoots it.
Right.
Have to be on him the whole time. You can't, try to make him give it up. You just basically have to make him miss his shot, which was kind of 50-50 for Duncan tonight, because MPJ definitely took advantage of that early, and then his shots weren't falling no matter who was guarding him. But that's how he was able to get the foul calls as well. So 15 points, especially getting yourself to the free throw line. 3 of 5 shooting is nothing. That's a good shooting night. But again, for a guy that we rely on a perimeter, you'd like to see a couple more attempts, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not going to do this, y'all. We're not going to do this. Like, we're not going to start having the pitchforks out for JB. I'm not doing that at all, man. What he's done in these first 2 seasons is incredible, historic.
Yeah,
so
very few people.
As much as I disagree with, and I'm gonna talk about it more because I ain't done. But as much as I disagree with some of the rotations and things tonight, I'm not gonna. We don't do that over one game or over a stretch of bad games. When over the last 100+ games we've been winning much more than we've been losing. We're not doing that, guys. No, we can't have a short memory like that. Let's just wait and see what happens. But we haven't had a coach this good in a long time.
Yeah.
This team.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
We're not.
The players talked about it. The players, Jalen Duren credits him as the first coach to really help him grow and push him in this league. There's not another coach that you can argue, like, who else would you want then? Because you might say the Spurs have been on a turnaround, but they had Pop last year for a lot of it. And then Mitch Johnson is in. Like, JB. Yeah. and
this is where I'm at. Like, Cardenas is I'm gonna point out stuff,
right?
But I'm never gonna be like definitively like just drawing conclusions. Like, I think Cardenas has some very valid points here. It's the coaching. You can argue the coaching, argue the substitutions, argue the rotations, argue the lack of a timeout late in the game when the lead was dwindling. Right? You can argue that as well. A lot of things you can argue. Maybe he wanted them to figure it out on their own. Who knows? You can argue a lot of stuff, but to say that it's time for him to go, like, for who? For who?
Yeah.
What are we talking about, man? What are we doing? So, we'll leave it there, boss. As far as Duncan, I felt like he just was not with that. I'm about to be honest again. I just felt like he wasn't put in position to be successful. I just felt it just wasn't a good look to have him guarding their best player. Like, we've talked about him getting hunted out all season long, to where they're hunting out matchups. They're hunting him out, where they're trying to get a switch. Right now, he's not even guarding that guy. They're just they're going out of their way to switch to get him onto a certain guy. So it was weird to me to have him just immediately put on a guy who was the leading scorer.
Unless they thought that there were switches, but again, Michael Porter Jr. doesn't even create his own offense. He just chucks up whatever he wants. Like,
you never go in thinking they're going to switch, and that's why you have him guard straight up. Like, you always force him to go make that switch. So it's like, you can't
even think of a time that he was screened tonight. Because MPJ,
they didn't need to.
Yeah,
they didn't need to. Because they just went. That was the matchup. So I definitely disagree with that, guys, for sure. 3 fouls in the first quarter. Surprise, surprise. That's what's gonna happen when your worst defender is guarding their best player to start the game. That's what's gonna happen. I wasn't surprised at all by that. So I'm not really even mad at him for that, because it's like he's just not a good defender, especially against great offensive players. Most guys aren't great defenders or good offensive players, right? So, having Sasser there would have been huge, right? But having Duncan there made it even worse. So,
it's like the last person you pick.
From one extreme to the other, right? Exactly. So he did get going a little bit in the second half when he could kind of play a little bit, kind of get off the pine and play. And he knocked down some shots. So it was a couple threes he missed late. He was 3 for 5. I think the 2 he missed were in the fourth quarter. He had one from the angle from 3, and then one from the corner. But the one from the angle is wide open. Like, you gotta make that, bro. Like, you have to. And for me, it's once again, like, if you're gonna start, I need you to get up more than 5, bro. He had 4 last game. Like, and it's not like he's playing the Spurs tonight. These are the Brooklyn Nets. No shade, but the defense is much different when you look at, on all 3 levels, the Spurs and the Nets. You're going from first to worst defensively in a lot of areas between those two teams. It wasn't like there was a ton of pressure at the rim. It wasn't like they could actually see the rim once they got past their guy on the perimeter. They could actually see the rim because there was no Wemby there. There was no resistance there. So the defense as a whole was just different tonight. They weren't completely attached to him all game. Like, he's got to get up more than 5 shots. He just has to. As our lone sniper, he's got to get up more than 5 a game. So whether that's a him aggression thing or whether it's a coaching thing as far as getting him looks, 4 or 5 a game for him to be our best shooter is just not going to cut it from 3. It's just not.
Well, I don't think it's him because we've seen him shoot wide open. We also have seen him shoot over contested things, but it does seem like there's not a lot of play calls for him to get open. You don't see guys running the play for him because they'll come up and screen for him, but it doesn't really ever look like that was the plan. So because we've talked about this earlier too, in other games, is like you just need to be able to get more up. And mind you, we had Jenkins and Sass out there tonight who can also hit the 3. So it was a little bit more spread out there, and they all started early by everybody. Basically got all 3 of them getting it, but we do need a little bit more there. Corey Plunkett comes in and says, I like what JB said after the game. We didn't respect the game tonight, and when you don't respect the game, this is what happens. And we didn't see the post game because we never
see him before, guys.
So
we come straight here after every game, and then you guys see the shorts we post after the game is over when we're done with here. But yeah, like that's what we said, boss. They didn't respect their opponent, and here he is saying we didn't respect the game. That's what it was.
The commentator that you brought up earlier, talking about our egos a little bit, talking about being complacent. That's exactly kind of what happened, and I think it got there. I think some of the ego too can be shown in the fact that Duncan was on MPJ, as if they thought that
it didn't matter. Got you.
Exactly.
Got you. That's a good point. Who knows? But that's something to think about for sure. Because I was saying it too. Like without Asar, without K, we should still win if we play hard enough. So maybe that was part of it too, boss. Like, we'll be all right. We got enough guys. We're deep enough. Let's just go get it done, guys. And they saw that, and they saw food. They saw food when they saw that matchup, and we saw what happened. So, all right, guys, we'll leave it there. Let's go on now, boss, to Camille says that disrespecting the game or not winning a playoff series is that's a great point, bro. That's a great point, man. That's a really good point. You ain't won nothing yet, haven't earned anything yet. And we've heard guys say that this year. We've heard Cade say it, like we don't want to just have a great regular season. We've seen JD saying we want to win a championship. Okay, that's great. Now you got to show it every night. You got to show it every night. So, all right, we'll leave it there, guys. We won't go too crazy. We're trying to keep everything in perspective, but we still got to call it out as we see it, and we're doing that.
Yeah, we got to talk about this bummer of a game. So
that's what it was. No sugarcoating, man. We got to call it like we see it. All right, boss. Let's go to Uncle T in this game. Tobias Harris tonight, guys. Tobias finished with 18 points on 8 for 14 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3, 1 of 4 from the free throw line, 10 rebounds, which is second on the team, which is good. 10 boards, no assists and 3 turnovers is not good. And 1 steal in 32 minutes. So what did you see tonight from Uncle T, boss?
Yeah, the turnovers kind of kill his stat line for him.
Yep.
But he made some really tough shots tonight. Like really tough shots. And he's been kind of, and I mentioned this last time when he shot over was it Allen and Mobley, or he shot over some people because people say, he'll back down guys that he knows he can score on, but he backs down everybody. He just tries to get a shot. And I think he's been consistent at that. And they've just been falling much better. He's definitely, it just sucks that we're going through this slump right now with him, because as long as he keeps this up, I think he's really stepped up as a vet on this team for the second half of the season. His stat lines, I mean, like I said, his rebounds have been really good, especially when Stu was out. But Kevin did mention earlier, I've got to star the comment, but he did mention earlier that we were out rebounded tonight, which come on.
That's
when you have Stu and you have Duren and you have Bebop Hall on the bench and you have Tobias out here getting 10 rebounds. I think that's why, Duren was a little bit frustrating to watch tonight. Stu was there, like Stu still put up 4 rebounds the most on the bench, but like we should be out rebounding these guys in the
sure. No question about it.
But yeah, Tobias made some tough shots. He was helpful on the glass, got a steal. 8 for 14 at 57% is great. He hit a big 3. He had 4 fouls, but he's someone that I would have rather just seen on MPJ, if anything, because he can stay in front of a guy. especially if MPJ is just going to shoot over anybody. At least Tobias has some size on dunk, so make it a little bit more tricky. But it was a good game for Tobias. It's been a few good games for him, whether we lose or win. And so now he's stepping up as the vet and helping out where it's needed. He was our leading scorer tonight with 18. So definitely he would have had the belt if we had pulled this out, I believe.
Okay.
So I think they were saying too, the last play that we were trying to get it in, we were trying to get it to Tobias for that reason. And they just guarded him very well, and we couldn't get the shot in. So that was actually right before Clowney. That was a play before Clowney turned it over, which was like luck, and we still couldn't get it out there. But
that was crazy. That was wild. They gave us opportunities to take this game right back, man. Wow.
Yep. And we just fell short. But Tobias was definitely a bright spot in a bad game, I would say.
It's too much lately. We're relying on him in the half court to go get us a bucket. It's too much of that lately.
Oh yeah.
It's too many games now where it's like, all right, it's a close game. We need you to go. Like, that's happening because we're not getting stops and getting out in transition. That's why we have to go to him in the half court, because he's our best half court option. If we're getting stops and turning them over and scoring, first of all, it's not close. But second of all, we don't have to rely on Uncle T every single time down the court because we're trading baskets and not getting stops. Now we stuck in the half court. Now let's go dump it. Like, that shouldn't be the game plan late every single game. That's not who we are. We're not trying to outscore teams. We're trying to make sure you guys don't score as many points as we do. The approach needs to be different. Too many games late, we're trying to go to him like he's Carmelo Anthony. And him being 32, 33, no, that's not the recipe for wins. That's why we've been losing some of these games, because we're playing a little bit backwards as far as how we want to play. Going to him late in the game, stuck in the half court, dump it down, go get a shot. He can do it, but you don't want to rely on that every single game. Get back to who you are, man. So that was my thing. Like, it's just too much. It's too much late. Like, I like that he's scoring the ball and he's being reliable, but that's not a recipe for success if you're trying to do that every single game. Well, and you're not doing that because you're not playing enough defense.
Yeah, sorry, but that's what happened, because we were getting out in transition, and that's what got us their lead in the first half. Like, once we were getting stops and getting transition ball, like that's why Tobias all of his scoring came in the second half. When we weren't getting stops and we weren't getting transition baskets, Tobias was helping us clean it up. So you'd more rather him be there, as not as someone to rely on, but more as like a safety net,
valve.
Exactly. That when we do half court stuff, but we know he can get it in addition to our transition, that don't have to keep calling upon him all the time, even if he can deliver, which he has in the past. So, I just think hopefully Tobias, or hopefully the team can start to get again
games away, so we don't need to do that
out of this slump. So and I think that what we're seeing in Tobias will continue. I don't see a fall off for him, because I think this is also, he's been just like last season too. He's just very clutch in later season games. And that's just what a vet does. So we just hope to take some of the pressure off of him to be able and get it done without having to rely on him getting some shots up.
Yeah. 313 Kurt says, if we lose tomorrow and Boston wins, we will only have a 1.5 game lead. Think about that. Yeah, I mean, things can change quickly, man. Like, at this, honestly, from what I'm seeing right now, boss, I could care less about the record.
Yeah,
I don't care. First place, if we're top 4, that's cool. That's where you want to be. But securing first place and playing like how you playing right now doesn't mean anything. We saw last year, we had, even though we didn't have home court advantage in the playoffs last year, we didn't win a home game.
Right.
So if we get first place and we play like we're playing right now, we're not going to win any home games in the playoffs either.
And
at this point, I don't care about first or second. It's about how we're playing. I'm confident if we're in second place going into the playoffs and we're playing like what we played, before the last 2 weeks of this, the last 2 weeks, I'm more confident that way than playing like how we're playing now inconsistently and we're in first place. So for me, the record really don't even matter right now.
But I do want to also correct you. If that happens tomorrow, it'd be 2.5. Not a big difference.
2.5. Okay.
We're up 3.5 right now. So it would be 2.5 tomorrow. If we both lost, because it's half a game, guys. A loss is half a game. So just like a win. So if we win tomorrow, we go back up by 4. If they win, then we stay at 3.5 basically ahead. But yeah.
Because
So
the goal is to win a playoff matchup, bro. So like if we're gonna have our first series at home anyway. So
and
I'm not even.
We've maintained this with the Celtics creeping up. Like we've maintained this within a 2.5, 3.5 lead, but it's getting concerning now because we're in the slump. And so that's also has to wake them up out of this slump is like, if you want to finish at the top, you can't be losing games. You can't be losing games to teams that you know that you can beat. So we do have to, our last 10 is 6-4. And like Celtics are 8-2 and Knicks and Cavs are both 7-3. So one win, from us and one loss from those guys kind of evens up the last 10 almost. So it's just this stretch that we dealt with last year, but the pressure was a little bit less last year because we were just excited to be in the playoffs, something that we didn't expect after 14 games. And now we know that we're going to be in the playoffs and the pressure is just maintaining our standing and not falling low. But even if we fell to second or, that would be a bummer. But it's not, all that does is just give us it still gives us home court advantage, but a separate matchup in the first round. That's all it does.
Right. Yeah. Kevin says Pistons have a top 2 defense in the league all season. That seems pretty disciplined defensively. Yeah. And then, what was it? I just saw another comment. Savannah says they are 12th defensively in this stretch of games since the All-Star break. So that's those 2 points kind of work hand in hand. Like they got to get back to who they were. So that's what I'm saying though, boss. Like with Tobias and his offense, like him having to do that late in the games mean our defense is not doing what it's supposed to do.
Agreed.
Because we're having to take the ball out the hoop and having to play in the half court so much.
Yeah.
That's what that means. So whenever I see that, it's not a good sign. If we win those games, okay, but we didn't win it the way we want to win it. We won it despite that. So yeah. So we'll leave it there. Let's get this super chat and we'll keep it going. Boss, let's hit Doug. Doug says they still have games versus OKC and San Antonio. We only have one.
So the Knicks, I think he's talking about the Knicks.
Have one? Oh, okay.
The Knicks, just like they have kind of the same matchups we do. They're seeing OKC and the Spurs late in the season, just like we have one more game against OKC at the end of the month, which you'd hope to, get some wins in between then, of course. But like they have a tough matchup too. These are tough teams. So it just does come down to the grind. I think the Knicks and Lakers tomorrow, and then Celtics and Cavs, which will be interesting. This is when teams, it takes a lot out of them and it shows them what they're made of. The Celtics and Knicks have been playoff teams for a few years now. Yeah. One of them has come away with the championship because of that. And they have a little bit more, what's the word? Just like continuity with, with the teams that they have. And so what they're doing is they're on a streak and they're showing themselves that they can. What they lacked in the beginning of the season is they're turning it around now, where we're going through a slump, and it's just gonna learn in different ways what we need to get done in the next month. And it's always nice to just see, like someone said about JB's comments, I'm excited to see more post-game comments because I'm really curious. But nothing was, there was no excuses. There was no, we're down our star players or the lineups, these guys haven't played with each other or the refs are bad. Like, there are no excuses. He straight up said, like, they're not.
There couldn't be, because we were up 23 points in the first half. Like they can't even, and I'm not saying that, he said the wrong thing, because I think that is the right answer. There are no excuses, but it would have looked crazy if those excuses were made, despite the fact that we were just dominating this game in the first half. Like, anybody who has eyeballs and watched the game, they know what it was. Y'all know what it was. We all know what it was, right? So I do appreciate the accountability from Coach, but at the same time, it really wasn't much anything else he could have said that would have made sense. That would have made sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, just being real. Like, you gotta say that.
I've seen coaches. There's a couple in mind, and I won't shout them out, but there's a couple coaches that do go to the podium and they might not say it blatantly, but it's a little bit undertoned. Like, well,
that's true.
This happened, and they didn't like, oh, well, we didn't get this whistle, or JD felt like he wasn't getting the call. Like, they might not say that outright, but it could be implied. And I'm sure, again, we haven't seen the JB presser, but I'm sure it's taking full blame. So
I just like that he didn't one thing about him that he doesn't take shots at his guys.
Like,
we've seen guys go back and forth. I can't think of who it was right now. Kerr and Kuminga, but even more recently, we saw Coach Mosley and Paolo Banchero going at it. Paolo was saying we need to make adjustments, and then Mosley coming back and saying the adjustments is playing hard. Like, you don't see coach sitting there saying, "Hey, we asked this guy this question, and he said this about you. What's your response?" Well, no, he's like, we don't see that kind of stuff. That's one thing I appreciate about Coach. He always supports his guys. He gonna get in they butt in the locker room, but he's never gonna do that publicly. So that's one thing I do appreciate, that he never does that, because that's how you can use that lunacy and cause disjointment in your team. So I like he doesn't do that for sure. Exactly, Kevin. Exactly. That's why he doesn't lose the locker room. So all right, guys, we'll leave it there, man. Another comment you have for me, boss? Was that it?
I was just like bringing up this one because Kevin also said something earlier. Ranger Air 5821 says, I think when JB goes through losses like these, he's doing depth rotations, experimentation. Well, yeah, that's all cool, but also put time away to secure the win, waste clock to win. I mean, I've said that too before, where it seems a little bit experimented. And that's also why I think we didn't just see someone come in the second like a B-ball or like a Chaz. I think he challenges these guys to work through it, because that's how you win games. You can't rely on, if you're off, then I'll just pull a guy off and we'll see how, even though we would have liked to see that. I think a little bit of it comes from, he's understanding this isn't the last 10 games of the season. It's getting closer. It's our biggest slump, but he's also challenging these guys to go out there and do better with their minutes and make their own adjustments and not just rely on being, saved by others on the team. So I can see that.
Phil Jackson treatment.
Yeah. So I could see a little bit of both. And it does seem like Coach holds them accountable, and that's why they do like him too. He holds them accountable for their stuff out there, and he's not just gonna he'll pull you if you make mistakes, but he's not gonna he still also is gonna make sure that you are doing like your hardest out there, because this is Paul Reed is someone we still want to see, especially with Stu's back in the rotation. We've been talking about we want the 3 big rotation,
right?
But right now it just seems like he's kind of picking, who's going in the playoffs. And while Chaz would be really fun to see, Chaz isn't going to be a playoff guy for us. And that's just, and the reason is, and you guys might think, well, why not? He deserves to be. Well, we don't know that yet. He's been killing it on the cruise. He's having a great adjustment year, but we haven't seen him enough to be like, oh, he's the answer to our problems. You don't know when guys get to the NBA or how they play, especially in playoff scenarios, where it's a little bit more intense. I think that's why he's not quick to call on some guys to come save these games, because while the losses suck for our regular season record, he's not going to be doing that in the playoffs. He's not going to just be throwing people in.
It's too late in the season. It's too late in the season, I think, for a rookie. That's not even, I don't think, fair to try to, put him in that position. A guy like Huerter, maybe because he's been around, been around the league longer, seen him more. But yeah, I don't think we'll see that either, unfortunately. But all right, guys, let's keep it pushing, man. Let's go now to JD, guys, in this game. Jalen Duren, guys, finished with 17 points on 7 for 19 shooting, 3 or 4 from the free throw line, 14 boards, 2 assists, 1 turnover, and a steal and 3 blocks for 4 stocks in 32 minutes, boss. So what did you see from JD in this game?
I mean, obviously 17, 14 and 3 blocks. I mean, his stocks have really picked up. The 7 of 19 is bad because that tells me that you're missing a lot at the rim is what it's telling me, because JD doesn't take jump shots. He took a couple, almost had that last one go in too, kind of unexpectedly, 3 or 4 from the free throw line, not mad at it. But his rebounds were split, 6 offensive, 8 defensive. I love that. Only 1 foul. But if you only have 1 foul, why this should have been against a team like this should have been a 30-20 game for JD. We've seen what he's been able to do against tough teams lately. We've seen him put up 28 and 17. We've seen him put up those big numbers. Yeah. So I think that especially when we got out rebounded and he played for 32 minutes, it's not like he played for 25.
Right. Foul trouble.
And so again, not going to blame this loss on him, but this definitely could have, he was aggressive at certain times, but he could have really just shown some of these young Nets guys that he is the best center in the East. So I just, I would have expected a little bit more but we've talked about this. He does tend to play a little bit down to his competition. He's someone that I don't know why, but he just won't allow himself to go out there and get 40 points and 20 rebounds, so.
Yeah. In a game when you don't have Cade, like we saw him do in overtime. Who did we beat in overtime? Who was that? Who did we beat recently in overtime? Was it the Cavs when JD stepped up when Cade fouled out and won that game for us? Him and Daniss won that game for us. Was that game when Daniss got fouled and hit the free? Okay.
Allen fouled out too.
Right. in a game when you don't have K, you need JD to do more.
Mhm.
I thought he started off great, just like everybody else. I thought he started off this game very well. He had 2 blocks really early in this game. He just pinned him off the glass. Give me that ish. Protected the rim pretty well. His commitment has been better over the course of the season on that side of the ball. In the last couple of weeks, he's been really good, despite the team not playing great. However, I was disappointed with him, especially late in this game. I was disappointed. I kept hearing Day'Ron Sharp's name too much.
Yeah.
Too much in this
Who
game.
is
Day'Ron
it?
Sharp with the score. Day'Ron Sharp with the dunk. Day'Ron Sharp with the offensive rebound. Day'Ron Sharp with another one. Come on, bro. Like, you can't let Day'Ron Sharp outwork you late in the game. Offensive rebounds, just out physicaling you. It ain't like he's 7 feet, 270 pounds, bro. He's not even as big as JD.
Right.
So that was disappointing, man. That may have been the most, outside of Duncan starting at the 3. That was probably the most disappointing thing for me. It was late in this game. He just was not present late in this game. And I have not said that a lot this year about him. But he led the charge as far as playing down in your competition, if I'm being honest. Because when Cade is not playing, he's got to be the leader.
Yeah.
We know Daniss is the floor general, but he's the other all-star on this team to say, hey, backpack. I'm going to backpack y'all tonight. Follow my lead. I know that Cade isn't here. I don't need Cade to get all my points. I don't need Cade to help me protect the rim. I don't need Cade to help me get on the glass and dominate those guys on the other side. We talked about how he's dominated Nick Claxton since those trade rumors pretty much popped up last year.
Yeah.
Dominate him again. Don't let him block you twice. Don't let him block you when you're going to the rim. Just body him, push him up under the rim, set up camp, and just dominate under the rim, bro.
Yeah.
And we didn't see that. Day'Ron Sharp is just second stringer on the Nets. So no disrespect, but there is a glaring talent gap there.
Yes.
So for him to be getting outplayed by Day'Ron Sharp in the fourth quarter the way he did was extremely disappointing. It felt like, once again, he was saving some of his energy for tomorrow night, because I've seen him when he's full tilt, and this was nowhere near full tilt for JD, despite the stat line. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and especially since, he was he only had 1 foul. Like, especially late in the fourth, you have no excuses not to be ultra aggressive. Go rip the rebound down, and if you get called for a loose ball foul, so be it. But go make a mark. Go make a statement. These guys were getting around him too quick. I mean, to be fair, Nick Claxton did only have 2 points in the game and 6 rebounds. So JD did his job defensively on him.
That's fair.
But again, like but he matched his stock stat line. Claxton also had a steal and 3 blocks, and 2 of them were on JD. So you just want him to, he had a block, but he had a block on Claxton in the second too. It's hard because, like, someone else said, it was a little bit misleading, the stat line. Because
I think Devin said that. Yeah,
17 and 14 is good when it's for JB, but that he can get better against better bigs. So when you have this chance to just really go out and show off your all-star talent, you should be putting up more buckets.
Yep, 100%. So that's where I'm at. Like, I was getting annoyed, like, as this game kept getting closer and closer and closer, and I didn't see any urgency really pick up at all, which is still kind of just like as if we were still up 15. It just never picked up. It was like they kind of just got shell shot for a minute, like, and it's like it felt like they were kind of like clock watching, like waiting for the game to be over instead of going ahead and just taking it. It's like the old saying, you don't play. They didn't play to win, they played not to lose.
Exactly.
And that's how I felt in this game. They played not to lose instead of playing to win and going and getting the game and just hoping they beat it back into one. Can't do that, bro. So I was disappointed, man. Like this, I was the first one before the season started to say JD's gonna be an all-star. So I've been a huge JD guy since he came here, and he's made some, don't get it twisted, he's made some great strides from his first year with JB to now. I'm not even saying he's all-star for a reason. I'm just saying that consistency piece again. In games, you're trying to get off the schneid and you're trying to get some momentum going, and you're at home and you're playing against Day'Ron Sharp, who's a solid player. I'm not saying he's a scrub. I'm not saying that. But he's more of an effort guy than anything. Yeah. So when you're getting outworked by a guy who's not as big as you, not as strong as you, not as athletic as you, you're not putting in enough effort, bro. You're just not. So I need that. That can't happen, man. Like that's disappointing, boss. I'm sorry. I'm gonna leave it there. It's just, it really irked my nerves because, like, that's been the point of emphasis. It's like, just bring the effort every game and you will dominate every single time. So when you don't against lesser players, it's frustrating. And I was
Yeah.
frustrated, especially toward the end of the game. I was. So
Exactly.
that's all I got, man. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna jump on any one player too much, but that was glaring, and I had to get that out. So
Yeah.
anything else you got on that, boss?
Nope, that's all. We can move to reserves, and then
All right.
just a couple, just real quick. Just finish your sentence. New York basketball can't make the finals despite being in the playoffs 5 years in a row. New York basketball hasn't won in 50. What are you trying to say? Let me know.
Let's get some reserves, guys. Let's go to Caris LeVert in this game. Caris LeVert, guys, finished with 7 points on 3 for 8 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3, 2 boards, 1 assist, and 1 turnover to go along with 2 steals and a block for 3 stocks in 16 minutes. So what about Caris? What you see about Caris tonight?
Yeah, so I kind of liked what I saw. He hit his first field goal attempt, which was a 3, and that was promising. He had a strip at the basket after a Ron turnover to get the ball back. He knocked the inbound out of the air. Like, he was definitely had effort out there, and we did only see him for 16 minutes, and mostly in the first and the third. He wasn't brought in to close out, which is now a few games in a row, which I think that kind of goes to show where people like to say they don't want LeVert minutes. He's being favorited. He's staying around the 15, 16 mark lately. I think he had 20 the other night, but he's not coming in and clutch like at the end of games. Like, he's in there for specific reasons. And I didn't hate his game tonight. Of course, when you're out there, when you're 3 of 8, like, it would have been nice if he could have had one of those go in, especially because he did start off pretty strong offensively. But again, you could say that about anybody. They all kind of fell off in the second half, but the two steals and a block are huge. So I appreciate that from him. Even the 1 assist is a little bit misleading because he definitely helped create some plays. He only had 1 foul, 1 turnover. So yeah, not a bad game from LeVert, but it would have been just like we said with Sass. If like one more, I mean, Sass had 5 steals, but if we just had one more basket of LeVert go in, it was just he just keeps falling short of like good game.
We haven't had that game yet. I'm still waiting on that game. Like, a lot of guys, you could think about a signature game or a couple of signature games. I haven't seen one like just a game where it's just like he just breaks out and just shows us like, okay, there's something there that we can work with going forward in the playoffs consistently. Just haven't seen that yet. And that's, I don't know, maybe that I shouldn't be expecting that, but that's what I expected to get from him when he got here, which is to be a guy who can just have an explosion every now and then. And not even just scoring, but just across the board, just having, a close to a triple-double, maybe a game or so, or 2, where he just comes off the bench and goes crazy, has, 17 points and, 7 rebounds and 8 assists and that kind of thing. And we really just haven't had that kind of game where he's been able to just put it all together yet. It's kind of just been like average or below average for most of the year. And it's been inconsistent. So that's a tough, like, first play of the game that he was in the game, he turned it over.
Yeah.
First play of the game, came and turned it over. And he hit a 3 ball after that, which was okay, which was solid. So I'm not like, it's just like, it's been kind of a mixed bag year for him. He makes nice plays here, good defensive plays here and there. And then he turns it over. He just doesn't look comfortable. It's not consistent. So I don't know. Like, I'm not blaming this game on him. It's just been pretty much what we've seen all year.
Exactly. And that's like when you have games like this and it's been the same, like, this is when we need you to step up. Because he definitely wasn't the worst player for us tonight. And this stat line would be pretty good in a win. But it just keeps coming off of like, I mean, he didn't do anything crazy, but we definitely could have used some more good from him. So that's where I'm at. But I know he is the scapegoat for everybody. He's the first one people call out when we lose. And I still don't even think that it's fair then. But he's never the guy that we can point to when we win. And I think that's
right. So in a sense, I understand why people are upset, because if you're not the reason we lose, but you're never the reason we win, then we need more from you. We need you to be a positive overall. And I don't really feel like he's been a positive overall. If we're being honest, I come away from most games a little bit underwhelmed, right? Yeah. Aside from the expectation, just looking at the minutes he's playing in the eye test, it's just underwhelming. It's just like, he played. He wasn't terrible. He wasn't great. It's like, it's deja vu oftentimes for me when I talk about him. It's just the same kind of story. It's never really anything that changes. The consistency is the inconsistency. It's just like this. It's just like this. It's kind of blah. So I just kind of got to see more from him. We're going to need him to do more, I believe. We're going to try to go far in the playoffs. Now I blame Caris for just being yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like I just said, I think I finally found the words to describe it a little bit. Because I'm just never on any of these guys. There's no one I think I've been particularly hard on. I try to find the negatives and positives in both. But when Caris has a good, like I said, he never necessarily contributes to losses, but he definitely also, like, we haven't been able to point to him for reasons that we've won. So that's just more of where it needs to. We need him to shift that. So we need him to have a game, and in games like this when we're struggling late, even though he wasn't in the fourth, like he wasn't in, you would hope that he could. The way when he started that, when he hit a three, because he got a turnover early and he never got one again, which I'll give him credit for that. But he got a three and then he got to the hoop a couple times and got it in. That's when I was just like, oh, this is going to be a Caris game. And then it just never pans out that way. So, yeah.
Yeah. Got to see more, man. Got to see more. Like, aside from tonight, he's going to have to be better. We're going to need to have some kind of consistent punch off our bench, like we had last year, if we want to advance in the playoffs. Because the bottom of the East has gotten better too, right?
Yeah.
So if we get the 1 seed and we got to play Charlotte in the first round, that's going to be a tough series. That's going to be a tough series. The Heat won't be a cakewalk series. They just beat the Hornets, right? So it's like you got to be playing at your best, man. You need your guys playing consistent ball in a positive way, game to game. Can't have these games where you just out there getting cardio. I'm not saying got cardio tonight, but we got to get more from some of these guys. And I think he's one of them. So we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Boss, let's keep it moving. Let's go to Kevin Huerter. We saw it was a Kevin Huerter sighting in this game, which we all thought we would see. Kevin Huerter, guys, finished with 8 points on 2 for 6 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3 from the free throw line, 1 assist, a turnover, and 2 blocks in 15 minutes. So what did you see tonight from, what is that, Velvet?
Man, one of what another bummer when he also hit his first three. It was a really nice step back three. It was pretty long. The net did not move. Like it was pretty. To then go 1 of 4, it's like such a bummer because there's another one, just like I said about like, it's like as soon as we got it in, like, man. And so it was a bummer that he wasn't able to get that. But he did play every quarter. He only played 15 minutes, but he did play every quarter. He got a turnover, or he caused a turnover, but then he got back to bother Sharp's dunk, even though Sharp, it was probably fouled and they didn't call it. I appreciated that effort from him. Like he turned the ball over at the top and ran all the way back to meet Sharp at the rim. Like he wasn't, he still, that was an effort play. He had a run out dunk in the third. He had the tech free throw for us in the fourth. It was fun to see him out there. It just like, yeah, there's a reason, he had 8 points. He was 2 of 6, made his 3 free throws. But gosh, even if he could put in 1 more 3, then I'm like pretty much sold on him. But it just, again, after that long step back 3 and after he had a 3 last game, I was like, oh yeah, he's back. Like, let's go. But he couldn't get a couple of them in, and then where did I say? Avery does say this. Some of those shots were not fair. They were late clock.
They were. One got blocked.
Yeah. So yeah, that one, that's true. But he had, at least I recall 1 other 3 shortly after his first 3 that just couldn't go in.
He did. Yeah. Yep.
There. But I do appreciate the
clanker. He had a clanker. One of them was a clanker. Like we're barely even called rim. Like, whoa.
And I do have to say, because we don't get to see Huerter a lot, and I do have to give him his props because he's not a guy that we see a lot, but he definitely, in terms of effort, fits in with this team very well.
For sure.
He's moving. He's moving. Even Duncan had a hard time moving off ball at the start of the season. Huerter doesn't just stand there. He makes aggressive plays. He gets it done. He had an assist, right? Yeah, I know he had an assist, like a bounce pass or something to someone inside. Maybe it might have been JD. I'm not sure who it was, or Stu. But he, I liked what I saw from him. It just sucks that, again, just like the rest of the team just kind of fell off when everyone else did. But the fact that he was trusted with minutes tonight, that we got to see him in the first, we got to see him every quarter. I would like to see more. It's kind of where he left me after today's game. I'd like to see more.
I would too. Like, it wasn't like he had a great game because, like, honestly, his stats were kind of comparable to Caris in this game. And it was not just stats. You're looking at how they're playing to the type of gravity they're creating. It seems like guys get out to him more than they get out to Caris because I do think Huerter's a better shooter. I think Huerter's a better shooter. I think he's a better stretch. Agreed. So aside from the scoring or whatever, I'm noticing teams pay him more attention. He's not getting Duncan Robinson attention, but he's pretty much like in between what you see between Caris and Duncan. Like they're still moving to him. They're still paying him attention. They still got their eye on him. They're not just packing the paint when he's out there. So I think that's something to pay attention to. So it's not like he's playing way better than Caris. He needs to go out. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I want to see, since he hasn't played a lot and he's putting up comparable numbers, and I'm seeing the defense do things from an honesty standpoint that could help guys like Cade have more space. I want to see I want to see where it could go, because in not a lot of playing time, not really much more you could ask from him in limited minutes and playing 3 or 4 games he's played, I think, this year. So I just want to see more. I want to see how high the ceiling can get with him, considering he's been pretty decent, pretty solid already in a short period of time. So that's where I'm at on Kevin Huerter.
Yeah, and I even him with Caris, because we saw Caris in with Jenkins, we saw him in with Sass. If Huerter and Caris together wouldn't even be that bad, because they both give effort, and obviously Caris I think is the better defender, but then Huerter can be the better on offense, especially with his off-ball movement to give someone the ball for Caris to pass to. So that would be an interesting line. I'm sure some of their minutes overlap tonight. I just don't think it was enough to I would like to see that. And like we said, Huerter with Duncan was also working last time, but Duncan only played 23 minutes because of his early foul trouble. And it's like Huerter was kind of brought in to help with that a little bit earlier, which is why we might have seen him shortly after LeVert checked in. So we did see him a little bit with LeVert first, but what we didn't see, again, is LeVert in the fourth, and we did see Huerter in the fourth. So there were some adjustments there in terms of what the team needed, and in the second half, of course, we needed stops, but we definitely needed more offense after two chunks of time, 5-minute times in both third and fourth quarter of no baskets.
Both quarters. Yeah. Both quarters. I agree. Kevin says, by the way, side note, the Magic just smacked the T-Wolves by 30. That helps the Pistons, because the more the T-Wolves lose, the higher our pick swap gets, as long as it doesn't drop to 19. I think it's like 24 right now because they've been winning. So we need them to lose some more. We need a lower pick.
That game was on earlier today. It was right before the Pistons. I did watch all of it because we do have the Timberwolves coming up, and the Magic are in 5th, I think, in the East, 6th in the East, 7th, because I think it's Raptors, Sixers, Magic, but they're all pretty close, like all within 1.5 games. So they're just a contender. But the Wolves is also, I was just telling Deuce, the Wolves are a team that are obviously doing really well. They were on a win streak. They're a great team, but they struggle against teams they haven't played yet, which is why, especially as long as we find some rhythm, I think that we can beat them in these 2 games we have coming up against them. They're very good against West teams that they have a lot of knowledge about already. The Wolves were up by a good amount before the Magic came and took over, but I did watch that today. So the Wolves are 3rd in the West, and then also the Hornets. He ended their win streak too. It's just NBA. It's just like when they start to fall to some teams, just maybe just lose track of sight of it a little bit. It's also late in the season. It's just a lot of factors, but we definitely, even when we were winning, our wins haven't felt good lately either.
Yep.
So we just really need to reconnect there.
Yep. Agreed, man. Agreed. So getting back to Huerter, I thought he was solid. I want to see more Huerter minutes going forward. I just want to see what he can give us. I want to give him a chance. Like usually with this late in the season, I want to do that because you want to get some consistency. But with a guy like him who's been a vet and who's already showed in limited minutes, he's already been pretty decent. I'm like, let's just see what we got there. So That's all I got on him.
Same.
Let's keep it going, guys, and let's go now to, we got a few more guys. Go to Ron Holland first, boss, in this game.
Okay.
Ron finished with 6 points on 2 for 6 shooting, 0 for 1 from 3, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 1 turnover in the steal in 18 minutes. So what you see from Ron in this game, Dog Pound Jr.?
Yeah, he had 5 fouls. He got into foul trouble himself,
which
I think kept his minutes. He still played the second most off the bench at almost 19. First of all, I'm so happy he's okay. Like, I'm so glad to not see him on the list. I thought he would maybe miss a couple games. Like, with when you get poked in the eye, obviously you get scratched. It's blurry, stuff like that. But he definitely was hustle man out there. He had even some good steal knockaways that ended up being called fouls. Like, he was still being aggressive. He missed his 1-3, but it was a good attempt. It was he was pretty wide open and it was close. Made his free throws. One weird thing is no rebounds. He's been much better since they called him out at the end of at the beginning of the year this year of 2026. They called him out and showed him that he could be rebounding more, and to go from 0 to usually you see at least 4 or 5 in those minutes. So wasn't able to get there. Not his best game. Hopefully we definitely would need him more tomorrow, but he made it. He's made his free throws. He got a basket and he got a steal, but unlike him, this is a bad stat line for what we know Ron Holland can do in 19 minutes.
This is an off game.
Yeah,
this is an off game. He struggled. The intensity was there. He was trying. He was just out of sync on both sides. He was a little too physical defensively. That's why he got in foul trouble. And I a lot of time when I'm watching the game, I'm like, yeah, that's not a foul, bro. But tonight it's like, yeah, bro, you was that's too much, bro. It's too much. And you saw him barking at the officials after every foul. It's like, just leave him alone, bro. Just go play. Just go play. He missed some point blank shots too with the rim that he missed some point blank shots that he usually makes. That was surprising, but it happens sometimes. But it wasn't an effort thing. I'm not even gonna get on Ron. It wasn't really an effort thing. He's got to be more disciplined when it comes to his fouling, though. That's the only thing I'll say about him. He's got to be. We talked about that. When he figures it out, how to toe that line between using his edge, which is physicality, and just getting into you, but also just playing smart. When he toes that line and is not getting caught for these ticky-tack fouls like he's getting, is when he's going to go to another level. But it wasn't all bad for him. He had a nice pick six as soon as he came to the game. Nice little pick six for a dunk. Yeah. And he's always giving his body up. Yep. He's been taking some punishment lately, like coming off screens, man, like getting stonewalled, moving screens at times. It's like, come on, bro. So that may be fueling into his frustration because he's getting punished just trying to stay attached to some of these guys. But he's not gonna stop. Like he's always gonna keep coming. He's relentless. Yep. He's always gonna try to make you uncomfortable. But I just think he's got to be a little bit more disciplined, and hopefully he can start getting some offensive fouls called against the opposition because he's really trying to stay attached and they're moving a lot. They have to because he's staying attached so well. So
yeah, and that's exactly it too. But he's been really sacrificing his body as a Jenkins. Today was a physical game. I think that's why he was frustrated with some of his foul calls because it was a very handsy game. I think the refs could have called a foul on the Nets every play. Right, they really could. Where'd my camera go?
You disappeared on us.
Oh no! Hold on 1 second.
Oh, you good?
Interesting.
That's all I want to see though. Just work chat, and you let me know what you guys think too. But he just has to work on just being more disciplined, man. Like playing defense, just moving your feet. Don't always worry about trying to get the home run play. He's always trying to get the home run play, trying to get the steal, the pick six, which are great. But it's okay to sometimes just move your feet, contest, and force a bad shot, and then get out and run. So that's my only thing. That's my only thing for Ron.
Yeah, agreed.
Aside from the shooting, which we all know that already. That's offensively. I'm just mean defensively. Control what you can control. That's all. So, all right, guys, we'll leave it there on him. Let's move on, guys, to Javonte Green in this game, guys. Javonte Savage, can you whoa in this game finished with 5 points on 2 for 7 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3, 3 boards, and a steal in only 18 minutes ain't bad for Javonte. So what'd you see from him in this game, boss?
Yeah, again, he's a guy that I thought would have maybe started to, like you said, like we both were like we could see both. 2 of 7 isn't like him. He did hit a big 3 earlier when he came in. His first basket was a reverse lay from a Jenkins QB pass. Like I finally saw one of Jenkins's passes, which was nice to see that again. And he just grabbed it and got that in. He had a very important offensive rebound in the 4th. He chased that ball down. I can't recall if we scored off of it or not, but it was just good effort. He's always showing effort. So, and he's not someone we usually rely on. Like he doesn't need to be taking 7 shots, but he was definitely trying to get this team back into it too. But defensively, I think he did he did an okay job. He had 3 personal fouls. He had 2 steals. So I mean, it was effort out there, but just kind of like Ron, just this isn't a normal stat line for him in 18 minutes. So
right. Real quickly, I want to get to this super chat. I think there's 2 of them. Doug just said they have. Oh, we got that one already. Yeah. Neek X3I said bad boy's been good. So who's your team, bro? Let me know who your team is, and
Knicks, I think.
It's the Knicks team.
But
So
it's okay.
You mighty worried about us, bro. That's
Yeah.
the funny thing. We ain't worried about y'all. We don't care what y'all do over there. We're not concerned at all about the Knicks do. We made easy work of y'all. Beat y'all by combined 84 points in 3 games. So until you can say something about our matchups this year when y'all play us, the fact you got to rely on us losing to other teams because you can't do it yourself when it comes to your team beating us says a lot. It's like trying to go find a bully because you got bullied. Let me go find another bully because I got bullied because I can't beat it myself. That's all that is, bro. So until y'all do something else in the playoffs this year, ain't nothing you can really say that's going to hold weight.
It's a Saturday night, and this is the best you got?
That's all you got? That's all you got, bro?
And look, I'm
just first and then talk.
You all didn't want to talk. All you guys wanted to say, well, postseason matters most when we beat you. So if you want
to so which is it, Neek? Is it the fact?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Which is it? You can't have both ways. Does the regular season matter or not? Because if it does matter, then this game matters tonight, and you can say that. But we got much more to say about us destroying y'all in every single game that we played this year on national TV. We embarrass y'all every single time on national TV. Ask Stephen A about how he feels about the Detroit Pistons, and then maybe that's how you should feel. Because he is afraid of us as a Knicks fan. So I think you should be too, my man.
This is their favorite thing. And it's like, yeah, we made the playoffs for the first time in years. Historic comeback. Incredible. Only lost by 6 points total. I mean, I get it. You guys are nervous. Your window is really, really closing.
They're scared, bro. Nick is scared, bro. Relying on last year's success.
And not getting to the not
getting
a trophy, but not even getting to the finals. Like, that's scary because after this year, if you guys can't get it done, which you can't.
Y'all getting older, bro. Y'all can barely even afford to resign Jalen Brunson. Y'all talking not even bringing him back. Then y'all get Miles Bridges for like 8 first-round picks. How's that looking right now?
Go sign
y'all
Jalen.
Window is about this big, and y'all still can't beat us. And we young. Our window is huge, bro. Where y'all gonna be 2 years from now? Are y'all gonna be lottery team? Where y'all gonna be?
Yeah.
Mike Brown already showing he ain't Thibodeau. That's why y'all ain't playing no defense till the last week and a half. We been playing defense all year. Where y'all been? Where was y'all defense against us? I mean, y'all couldn't even score 90 points the first 2 times y'all played us. Y'all couldn't score 90 points against the Detroit Pistons the first 2 games, and everybody saw it. Everybody on national TV saw it. That's why everybody's afraid of us. So if you got to use another team to talk smack, you ain't got nothing to say. I appreciate the super chat, but you got nothing to say, bro. Nothing.
If you have to bring up last season, it's kind of pathetic. Oh, it still got eliminated. Oh, crossover. Okay, this season, we're 2 places ahead of you. We've swept you by a lot.
Brunson got locked up.
Yeah. So
by the same dude in Asar Thompson.
I don't know. Go call a friend.
Old news is cool.
Saturday night. Go have fun, you weirdos.
I had to get that out real quick. Listen, I appreciate the super chat, but if you're gonna say that, you got to back it up with facts. And this year, you have none, my friend.
Yeah,
none. So appreciate you though. Appreciate you though.
And
so
the money and the
so yeah, bro. Like y'all know I'm usually chill, but nah, you ain't gonna come in here talking that mess, bro. Just because you're a super chat, think I'm gonna be nice. No, it ain't all nice. It ain't. I hope we play on the first, second round.
It's pretty.
So we can beat y'all, beat the brakes off y'all, because y'all not even really like that this year. Cat is scared of our dog. How about that? That's why Cat ducks us every time Stu is available, and then when Stu don't play, here he come. Oh, my eye hurt. Okay, yeah. Come to the playoffs. Show for the playoffs, and then we'll talk. Start this message, start this conversation, start this video. If y'all beat us, come back. If we beat y'all, don't run. Don't run. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't run. I'm gonna be looking for you too. All right, boss. As far as Javonte Green in this game, it was like Ron. Same thing with Ron. Like the effort was there. It just didn't go his way tonight. I thought he knocked down a couple shots. He didn't shoot great from 3. 2 of 7 is not great, right? But he did a lot of other little things. His rotations were good. It was one rotation where I think there was 2 on the ball in the corner, and they made a nice pass under the hoop, and he came flying over from the top of the key to get under the rim and get the steal right in time. So like plays like that, just the heads up plays that he makes. That's why I like having him on the court. Last play of the game, guess who's in the game? Javonte Green.
Yeah.
Like that's like we always say, he don't start games, but he's gonna finish some for you because he's just a guy who can just do a little bit of everything. So that's why I'm not gonna get on him. I'm not gonna get on Ron because they always bring the effort. The defense of the discipline has to be better with Ron. The shooting's got to be better with Wu at times. But the way they play is the same exact way every single game. So when that happens, the shot's gonna come and go at times. The effort should never. And with him, with Ron, the effort never is gone. So as long as you bring that, I can't even be mad. And that was what he brought tonight. So I'm not tripping. That's all I got, really. That's all I really got. He just couldn't get the fall for him tonight. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. I noticed the thing I had about Ron here because we were talking about Duncan being on MPJ, and Ron did a great job on Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
him getting the ball. So that's just an adjustment that could have been held if, Ron was in the starting lineup or if, Duncan wasn't at the 3. I think that's what I would have done differently because I did it. I wrote that down because I saw it. Like I saw him just basically locking him up. So
right.
So yeah, I think but yeah, Wu, whenever we slump, we all slump, but Wu's defense was there. It's just a little bit off tonight, like everyone else.
Yeah, that's all it is. So, but he's not the guy I'm pointing to at all. Neither one of those guys I'm pointing to those guys and saying, man, where was your effort? Like those guys weren't part of the conversation when I'm talking about the lapses. It wasn't those two. It wasn't Sass. Like certain guys really brought it all night. It just didn't work out for him. But the other guys we're talking about as we're focused on that, but not Javonte. Not ever Javonte. So I'll leave it there on him, guys. Let's go to our last guy from the night, boss. Let's go to Stu. Isaiah Stewart in this game, guys, finished with 10 points on 2 for 2 shooting, 1 of 1 from 3, 5 for 8 from the free throw line, 4 boards in 20 minutes. So what did you see from senior of Dog Pound?
Yeah, I think really, truly the only thing is, he didn't register a stock, which has just been unlike him, but he had a couple good ones in this game. Yeah, no stock. And I think he could have done a little bit better on the glass in terms of just having 4 rebounds, but 2 of 2 and then getting to the free throw line, 5 of 8. He is typically a little bit better of a free throw shooter, but he got to the free throw line the most of everybody tonight, and that just showed aggressiveness. Like they couldn't let him get going. He was getting to the free throw line because they were holding on to him and like dragging him down. Like they couldn't like that's exactly like so I think it was a good Stu game in the sense, but I think he's still just kind of shaking off some rust from being gone for this was the first time they said that he's played at home in a month. It's been like a calendar month because of just the way how we were away when he got suspended and then the All-Star and everything. So that's just how I feel about Stu. That's
how I felt too. Like I don't really have a what's up.
Knicks. They don't care about
you can read it.
And this is just funny to me because it's like, but then you guys came to us and said that it doesn't even matter. So if it doesn't matter, go do something with your Saturday night.
Can't have it both ways. That's how you know they're grasping at straws. When the logic don't make sense, you don't even listen.
Really pathetic. Like it's just
listen. Everybody has to find hope. Everybody has to cope in some way, shape, or form.
That's true.
In some way, shape, or form. Listen, if they beat us by 84 points over 3 games, you can guarantee that was all we would hear. That's all we hear.
Oh, exactly.
That's all we hear. So that's called confirmation bias. When you take a small piece of something and you make that the whole story instead of looking at the whole story to start with.
It's called not taking accountability and just.
That's all they doing, bro.
Naming.
So that's
regular.
That's why I laugh at it, bro. It's funny. Like it's okay. It's okay. We understand. We know what it is. We know what it is. Y'all gonna be okay. Y'all better get it done this year, which you're not. Your own owner, James Dolan, said y'all gotta win a chip this year.
You have
this is the year. So if this is the year, this is y'all peak. It's spooky, bro. Right. It's spooky. Our future is we nowhere near our ceiling. It ain't just this year or bust for us. No. That's the funny part about it. They talk about how they got a shot this year. If this was our peak, I'd be disappointed.
Yeah,
if we were because we're better than the Knicks this year, and we not at our peak, and they are. Yeah, and they their cap situation is trash. Their window is trash. All the guys is getting older. All that stuff don't apply to us at all.
Yet
here they are relying on regular season losses that we're having from other teams because they couldn't beat us themselves.
Yeah,
man, kick rocks, bro.
Yeah,
kick rocks. Go home. As far as Stu, I don't have much though. As far as Stu, like I just felt like he was a presence more than anything. I thought he was good around the rim. It felt like he had at least a block. It's weird to say he didn't have any. I thought I saw him. Maybe he just contested a ton. But yes, no.
It's just the first time you said this, and I'm like, do you think getting laughed at is anger? It's just funny.
Hey, when you at the top of the mountain, you're gonna have people who's trying to bring you down. Let us know what that's like when you get there.
Tell yourself I'm mad.
Let
to
us
make
know
you
what that's
feel
like when you get there, because
I mean,
we still at the top, bro. We at the
it's
top of the
giving
mountain.
it's
We've
giving
been at the top of the conference since game 9 of this season.
it's
Have y'all been at
giving
the top of the conference at all this year? I'm gonna repeat that. We've been at the top of the conference since game 9 of this season. Have you guys been in first place one day this season? Nope.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're the ones that are mad.
It's funny. It's
We
funny.
just fine.
They
We
gotta
just
get
fine. It's
personal
y'all,
now.
bro.
They got to get personal. So I'm just kidding. It's really
Y'all be all right though.
giving 2 inches, and I'm sorry.
It'd be okay. Yeah, Stu was a scrub, but Cat had like 6 points when Stu played. So who's really a scrub?
Guys,
Meow. All right, guys. We'll leave it there, man. So guys, let's look ahead real quick, boss. Let's look ahead and then we'll call it a night. Coming up next for the Pistons, boss, are the Miami Heat, like we talked about a little bit earlier. Throw the schedule up here. They travel. They probably going to travel tonight because they play tomorrow night in the back-to-back, and it's an early game. Starts at 6 o'clock EST. So that's going to be a tough one on the road, back-to-back. The Heat are currently 7th in the East, and they most recently, like we talked about, beat the Charlotte Hornets last night in a thriller. So that matchup tomorrow should be interesting to watch, boss. I think Tyler Hero went crazy in that game, like 31-9-9 and no turnovers, something like that, something crazy. So yeah, I hope we don't see Duncan Robinson on him. that's what I'm hoping. That's first and foremost what I'm hoping, is that the matchups make sense. But the Pistons are 1-1 this year against the Heat, right? The first matchup, they beat the Heat, did the Pistons 138-135. In the second matchup, the Pistons lost 118-112. So, boss, do you have any thoughts quickly on this matchup before we get out of here?
They're close games, and so this is a team that we've always struggled against. So we have to bring our best, which we didn't bring tonight. We haven't brought lately, so we just got to bounce back and bring our best. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, I'm
That's
sorry.
all I got to.
Look, we let you guys be in here, be trolls all night, not gonna block because you're allowed to say what you want to say. But now there's multiple people throwing shots, and it's ridiculous. So you're gonna be blocked now.
Don't mess around and get booted. Don't get booted, man. Especially in the game when you didn't even play.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, this is just
our rule is you can gloat if your team won.
They've got
your
to
team didn't win.
They've got to.
You can't gloat. So going forward, any more, y'all getting booted.
Yeah.
Going forward.
Ridiculous.
Super chat or not, y'all getting booted. If your team didn't win, that's our rule. If your team don't win, you can't gloat. Yeah. That's the platform rule. That's our channel rule. So we letting y'all know now. Letting you know now, or you can get booted. So we'll leave it there.
It's pretty classless.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll leave it there. It's cool. It's funny to me, man. This is what it, guys, Pistons fans in the chat. This is what it feels like. For those who remember back in 03-04. This is what it was. It's exactly like this. In 89-90, before social media and all that stuff, it was still the same way in the newspapers, in the papers. It was the same way. Same way. Hey, I appreciate the super chats.
Yeah.
I'm just, it just ain't gonna make the screen, but I appreciate them. If your team don't win, super chat or not, you're not getting up here. So anyway, but guys, this is what it's like. This is what it's like. When your team is playing well, this is what it looks like. Straight up. So get used to it, guys, because we're going to be dealing with this for a while. Because we're going to be good for a while.
Yeah.
So just get used to it now.
They have to win this year. Or else they
have to. They have to.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it there, guys. I'm looking forward to this game, though, as far as with the Heat. I want to see how the Pistons respond, boss. I really want to see how they respond, especially after this game. I would imagine it's a second game of a back-to-back. I'm pretty sure this was a trap game. I'm pretty sure they were conserving energy, gambling a little bit, and it didn't go their way. I expect tomorrow a much better effort, even if they don't win, which I do think they should on the road in the back-to-back. Yes, they should still win.
Yeah.
Especially if Cade plays, which I think hopefully he will. It's gonna be harder without Sasser, but I still think if they bring it, they can and should pretty much beat anybody. So I expect a dub tomorrow night. I'm expecting a dub tomorrow night. So, by the way, Doug said it's been up for Detroit versus everybody, man. That's why we always end it that way. Y'all know what it is, man. Listen, man, we know what it is here as Pistons fans. We gonna continue to do what we do. We gonna show up, show out, keep winning games, all that. It is what it is. So anybody who don't like it can kick rocks. But we know what it is here. So we'll leave it there, guys. Listen, man, it's been a great show. Great having you guys here with us, man. Pistons had a bad loss 3 straight game losing streak. He'll bounce back. We'll get right back into playoff form hopefully soon. That's all that matters. One game does not define our season, good or bad. So we'll leave it there, guys. Hope you guys have a great night. Thanks for showing up and showing out. We appreciate your support. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe if you are new. And we hope you guys have a great night. And we'll see you guys tomorrow, man. Detroit versus everybody. Peace.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot, and I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think of just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of canine. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking pundits, I hear you're ashamed. Talking that shop, you must run this way. Tryna tell ya, if the dog palm, mess around, find out, if the dog palm, mess around, find out, Put some barbecue sauce for you, better cough a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're real, put some barbecue sauce for you, better cough a hill, cause I'm like that.